It looked bad.
Yeah, you didn't see it? Oh, I saw it.
No. Was it bad?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Oh.
It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't good. Let's put it that way.
Did you see it?
Apocalypse?
Yeah, I saw Dark Phoenix.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to an After Dark podcast, the second episode. And for those of you that don't know what this podcast entails, it's really us, the crew behind Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, that just talking about just random life crap. Yeah, just anything. Really not anything Yu-Gi-Oh! Related.
What's going on in the world, our personal lives, whatever.
We do know that spoilers just came out for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, or the current Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, I should say. We saw them. We've already briefly discussed them. We are going to be doing a video on that tomorrow.
Yes.
So be courteous of people in the comment section. Don't post the spoilers out of people that don't want spoilers. And you will get all of our opinions on them tomorrow morning, first thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, excited for that. But, yeah, how are you guys doing? How you guys been?
Great.
I'm good.
Good. So, Pete, yeah, just talk for a bit. How you doing, man?
I'm just, I'm chilling, man. I'm out in the world enjoying my life.
Your voice sounds good.
Yeah, I do. I sound.
It actually has improved.
Wait, what are you talking about?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
So Pete for the last 2 weeks was unable to hear anything out of his right ear, and you went to the doctors today.
It was mostly the left ear, but also the right ear.
Right, and you went to the doctors today, and they flushed it.
Yeah, completely clear that situation up.
And you can hear.
Yeah.
But they must have done something to your throat area.
No, what are you talking about?
The doctor must have done something to your throat because you can't speak.
Wow,
That's
you're really going to do that?
That's
to
not true.
You don't
He
have a
sounds
voice.
fine to me.
No, I sound exactly what I normally sound like. What are you talking about? Anyone in the chat, do I sound completely different? I sound exactly the same.
All right. All
Well,
right.
I'm going to turn the mob against you.
All right. No, you know what? That's
may not
fair.
know this, but Pete's actually an opera singer professionally, and
That's true.
he was a doubleheader last night at the Met.
At the Met, right, yeah.
And
Yeah, they just did me dirty, So I'm recovering.
All right, that's
that's
fair.
what I'm doing.
That's fair. So, yeah, how have your weeks been? They've been good?
yeah, really good.
It's been filled with work.
We have no Calibro on this podcast.
Surprise.
Instead of removing him from the thumbnail, I put an X over his face. It was just easier for me to do.
It was like obviously less work just to hit hide, but I love it. I watched you do it. It was
Apparently, my mic sounds low.
oh
Yeah, boost it up. Boost
mean,
that mic.
Wait, keep talking.
Hey, how's it going? Hey.
It's not that your mic sounds low, it's that you don't have a voice.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to admit that.
I don't know about that.
And anyway, we're going to give Calibro a call real quick.
So odds are he's probably sleeping. So it's probably gonna sound like
9 out of 10 chance.
hello. That's how
Let's
it's gonna
see.
sound.
Well, we're gonna see if he's awake. I just want to talk to him about his
Thanks,
life.
Cloud.
And we're gonna see. So maybe we'll still get a Cal appearance on this podcast.
We need him, dude.
I'm concerned about his well-being. You know.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a minute, dude.
I haven't seen him in like a month.
Leave a voicemail.
I'm gonna leave a voicemail. Yeah.
We should leave him a group voicemail.
All right, we'll do that.
Right. From
Or
the-
actually, how about we just put the phone in the middle of the table and just go on with the
see
podcast?
how long the voicemail lasts.
And then you guys want to get in like a word with Cal, like
Yeah,
Right
now's
down
your chance. If
below.
you have any messages for Calibro, please
We'll
write it
relay
in the
them.
chat. We'll absolutely relay them. He's a great guy.
Your call has been forwarded.
that's what I said.
I'm going to turn off the speaker so that the phone number. Not going to do what Daniel J. Edwards did.
Yeah, we don't want to pull
Barrett.
that. We
Yeah.
don't need
Poor
you guys
Barrett.
talking about that, man.
7, 1, 1.
No, it's good. It's good.
Oh, almost.
The mailbox is full.
Of course it is. Of course,
His
he has
mailbox
so many
is full.
people hitting him up, dude. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
You just
yeah.
can't keep up with those messages.
No, he can't. He can't. Yeah. So, okay, no message to Calibro. That's all right.
Sorry, guys.
What I want to talk about though, something that we kind of discussed in the first episode was ghosts and spirits.
Sure.
Which I love that conversation.
Absolutely.
What I want to talk about are dreams.
Sure.
Now, dreams are something that's fascinated me. On the channel, I did a theory about the main character from GX having a dream in the final duel. One of my more criticized theories. That's fine. But that his duel against Yugi was not actually real, that it was a
Right,
dream.
sure.
And dreams fascinate me. They always have. I personally am someone, I don't know about you guys, that never dreams. I do not dream. I don't
That's
know.
bizarre.
Yeah, and that's why other people...
Everyone dreams.
Well, you know what? I dream when I'm in distress. When I'm in like real emotional distress, that's when I dream, and there's definitely a correlation between the
Sure.
two. Because
Stress dreams, yeah.
yeah, right after one of the hardest points of my life was about a year ago. It was last July. Me and my
Actually, well, this goes with someone commented earlier. Do you, not to rag on you, but advice on long distance relationships.
Ooh, wow. Well,
So that kind of fits into this. But continue.
write
Sorry.
that down. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
sorry
we'll
for
get to
interrupting
advice on who wrote that, by the way.
let's see up here. I'll find it. It's Frobel Vergara.
Frobel Vergara. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the. That's a that's a great topic.
that's something
Long
we'll
distance
definitely
relationships.
address.
We'll talk about that in this stream. We go into these streams very underprepared. We have like one topic.
Yeah, we YOLO it. you
And we
know?
literally listed.
We're
like,
talking
two
to you
things-
guys.
2 things we could talk about.
Yeah, because I'm like, you know what? People will chat in ideas and
Yeah,
topics.
exactly.
And this is the
Um,
one where I think we read the chat even more.
Oh yeah,
just to talk
definitely,
to people.
definitely.
It gives more of an opportunity to read the chat more than like just the super chatters. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about a year ago, it's a story that I'll definitely go into like really big detail at some point in my life because I think if it can help anyone, which I think it will help people. I've been far removed from it now where it doesn't hurt nearly as
good.
much.
Yeah.
Which is great.
But yeah, about a year ago, I went through my first breakup, and it was a horrible breakup. Johnny Baseball 24, who I think is in the comments. I was with him for the week that it happened.
You were.
Yeah, I was in the Poconos. I was on
Shout out
vacation
to
when it
John.
happened. When I got dumped, as they say, which unfortunately happens to probably
It's a part
everyone.
of
I
life,
vividly
man.
Yeah.
remember that moment. Too. I was in work and like I was in the room with a coworker. And I'm like, yo, I just have to like step out.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember I was at work when you told me.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even know what to do. I mean, for months I was just broken. And the point I'm making is, after it had happened, the months that followed it, I dreamed almost every single night, every single
Wow.
night, and like most of the dreams were really like they were like nightmarish dreams.
Right.
The most vivid one that I have is I dated my ex. I don't even like to say her name, but she had a friend named Becca, and she also dated a guy named Dylan, who I became close
Right,
with. So
of course.
ironically, there were 2 Dylans, and I was friends with a Dylan. And I remember that in this dream, Dylan, who they all cut me out of their, we all went our separate ways after the breakup happened.
Mostly him being basically forced
Me-
in a bad
me
place.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
like between a rock and a hard place. He
Yeah,
was,
it was tough.
Yeah.
But
You had to
anyway,
pick
I
a
was
side.
exiled, and,
Yeah.
and so
at the end of the day.
so Dylan made a YouTube channel. This was the dream that I had.
Okay.
Made a YouTube channel and basically made a vlog that said, me, Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. It was my fault that the breakup happened. My fault entirely. That if I tried harder, the relationship could have been saved.
Oh my god.
And that all of the people that follow me on YouTube should stop following me and should really send me like hate mail and should hate my
So
channel.
Just try to destroy your life.
But it worked because the dream didn't end there. People, and I remember the one specific person was Sam, Stardust Nobody, the person who
Yeah.
makes my thumbnails. He was someone who also then made a video saying, I completely agreed with the other Dylan.
shout out Stardust
I will
Nobody.
never make a thumbnail for this person again. I can't believe I was fooled by him. He's an absolute like dick. And it was just this, and every time I would post a video, I remember I posted one video, dislike spams, all nasty comments from people. It was like I was canceled. That's basically
Wow,
what
you
happened.
were canceled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jarek chimed in and he said that this story was part of his episode on Passion.
Oh.
Fruit.
Yeah, I opened up on Jarek's
So he
episode.
asked you, could you save some of that story?
I
for that
absolutely
video?
will. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the
Got you,
real
Jarek.
gritty details
Yes,
of it.
yeah.
But thank you, Jarek.
I
Yeah.
also, when that video drops, like everyone watch Jarek Brual's Passion Fruit.
Yeah, he
It's a
interviewed me. He
project-
came over, interviewed me, interviewed a few different people,
professional.
and it was I think
Yeah.
it's like an hour-long interview. So that's going to be a really in-depth look at myself and my life and
Seriously.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. So if that
And
interests
He
you,
has other like subjects as
oh
well.
yeah,
right?
other subjects about personal stuff.
Yeah,
So
and I mean other people too, doesn't it? Or is
Yes.
it just you?
Oh, yeah, other
It's-
people,
It's
yeah.
a long project that he's really been working hard on and
Yeah.
deserves so much love for.
yeah, it's great. And so I won't go into crazy detail. I probably will maybe after that episode gets posted on my own channel on a podcast like this. But as to what happened and everything with it. But you good?
I've started a bad trend in the chat.
All right.
Oh no.
Because you started saying hashtag ban Sam. And so I said,
Oh,
can
man.
everyone put an F in the chat for Sam? And then it just started going and going.
We love you, Sam.
And then Sam came in and said, what did I do? I was so confused.
Oh, Sam probably came in after.
Yeah,
I bet.
Sam basically goes
It ha-
blaming you for everything
No,
that
no,
happens
no,
in
no,
his
no.
dreams.
No, it happened to a dream.
Your
You can-
dream self canceled.
Your
it
dream
assisted in-
self assisted in
canceling
shutting
Dawn.
down my channel. Yeah. Anyway, that was a vivid dream, and another dream that I remember having, and this one was like a happy dream in the moment. It was me and my ex, and everything was normal. It was a 30-minute dream where we were hanging out, completely normal. And like that was probably the dream that hurt the most.
Right.
Because
You
even
wake up
though
and it's
even though
not
in the
real.
moment like it's great, like, oh yeah, there's nothing like nightmarish about this. Then you wake up and you have to again live in the reality where that is not what's going on anymore, and that will
Right.
never happen again. So those were the dreams that really hurt the most. And yeah, I only dreamed really in the last few years when I'm in like extreme emotional distress.
That's bizarre.
Otherwise, I really don't have any dreams. I mean, I've had some like random dreams. I remember tweeting about it where me and you and Pete and Caliber were reacting to opening 3, and it was like
Yeah, I remember
weird
that.
like sounds,
yeah.
and it was a really creepy, and there were characters from the older. It was a weird dream. Like those dreams are just weird.
Right,
I don't
right,
get
right.
creeped out by them or like depressed by them. But like for me personally, I only dream when I'm in like high emotional distress.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to talk
Yeah.
about it with
Well-
people in the chat with you. Like, I mean,
Sure. I mean, I don't think it's bizarre. Like, it's definitely like not unusual to dream vividly, like in high stressful times. But it's bizarre to me that that's the only time you do. I mean, like at times, like I guess in high stress moments for myself, like I usually have vivid dreams where like I'm powerless. Like I try to yell, but my voice doesn't carry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know that.
I try to hit, but my hands don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so I can relate in that aspect. But I'm like almost always like remember my dreams. Like I'm pretty good with that.
Have you-
I dream a lot.
Have you ever died in a dream?
I felt like yes, but I don't like.
Because that's one of the things.
many
See,
times.
but that's one of the things that I was taught when I was growing up. That old, if you die in a dream, you die in real
no,
life.
I
That's
felt it
BS.
where I hit the ground and like I feel the pain throughout my body, and then I eventually wake up. See, the thing is,
but do you wake up before you die?
no, I'm dead still in the dream, and then I wake up. It happens.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, see, a thing too is I suffer from night terrors a lot of times.
Yeah, right.
So-
So talk about your night terrors, because
Right.
you've said that to me before, and I've never really understood what that means.
So basically, there's different forms of night terrors. Sometimes people have night terrors where they'll feel like someone is literally watching them, right? And so you go into this thing of basically sleep paralysis. And
I've
so you
never
can't
experienced-
move. You're
yeah.
half awake, half asleep, and you feel like something's coming for you. So I've had that happen before. So like, and I remember one very vividly, like about a year ago, I was taking a nap and I was fully asleep and something startled me awake and I felt very cold, like there was a ghost there or something, and it looked like a black shadowy figure was watching me, like a spirit from the corner. But I couldn't physically move my body because like I was confused if I was awake or asleep, and it was probably half and half, and I was stuck there for like, I don't know, felt like an eternity.
Dude, how can you even you're not afraid of going to sleep?
No, you can't be. Everyone needs sleep.
See, you're absolutely right. And I guess if you go through that your whole life, you're just it becomes, a norm for you. That was the thing post breakup for a couple months. I wouldn't even get comfort sleeping because every night I was having a dream about my ex.
Yeah.
And so that's what was probably so tough, that I couldn't sleep. And I remember when I was in the Poconos with John and Brian and Joe, my other friends, because I was on vacation, I couldn't sleep for more than 3 hours at a time. Another thing that happened immediately is I could not eat. I could not eat. And it's pretty funny because our situations with our first
Paralleled
breakups
almost, yeah.
are almost scarily identical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something, again, we will get into on a different stream, but
Yeah, I think the only difference. So I remember vividly,
yours
yes,
was in person.
Mine was in person. This it did work. Like
I
that
remember
was,
this
yeah.
story too.
And it. Oh yeah, and I just paid for dinner. Got broken up with. It sucked.
We'll do a whole. I think we should
Oh,
do a
I'll-
whole
I'll go
stream
into
on
that more,
heartbreak later
Yeah.
on.
But basically, at the end of the day, yeah, that whole week I could barely eat. But I almost took comfort, and like sort of opposite of you, I took comfort in dreaming for a while because that was the only time I felt like I could.
So that was
see
your
that
escape.
person.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
I
my
feel-
escape.
I feel
And
that.
it was really an unhealthy mindset, and I think it sort of kept me.
see, I was the opposite. I didn't want to. I don't even like saying her name. I didn't want to see. I didn't want to remember.
It's like
I just wanted to forget everything.
Don't say the name.
What did you say?
It's Voldemort.
Oh,
Don't say the name.
You're not supposed to say the name.
Voldemort.
So,
Beetlejuice.
yeah. Anyone say anything pretty interesting about dreams?
Oh, yeah, there's been a lot of people. Some people.
I always
said-
go back, by the way, and I reread the comments. So please leave all your comments down below.
Alex Verme said, "Has anyone ever sleepwalked? Was semi-conscious the one time I did it. I've never sleepwalked, but I've witnessed it.
I've witnessed it, my brother.
My cousin was sleeping over once when we were kids, and he literally suffered from sleepwalking at the time. He doesn't anymore. And he got up, went downstairs, and just started doing things in the kitchen. Was completely asleep,
That's
wouldn't
crazy.
respond to anything.
That's crazy.
And then eventually just got up and then just went back to sleep on the couch like nothing happened.
So I've never or knowingly sleptwalked, but both my brother and sister are like pretty prone to it. My sister, somewhat recently, just like walked in my room. Everyone's asleep. Walks in my room, opens the door. Where's mom? And I'm like, downstairs sleeping. She says, oh, okay. Goes back to bed. But the craziest sleepwalking story I have. This is my old house. The way it's set up is my brother's room at the end of the hall. You pass my room, and then the next door on the right is the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And in the corner, right next to the door, there's a waste paper basket, except it's like sort of meshed. Like it's like there's holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle of the night, he's sleepwalking. I assume he gets up to go to the bathroom, but instead he hangs it right into my room. Literally pees right in the waste paper basket.
That's crazy.
It gets everywhere because it's not a solid container. There's holes. It's grated. That's the word I was looking for. It's grated. So pee gets everywhere. And then he turns around, goes back to his room.
And then, like, what are you doing there? Are you just shocked that just happened?
No, we will hopefully have a friend of ours, Matt Russo, on next week.
Yeah.
He's home from Australia for 3 weeks, and he went to Vegas this week. Everyone's going to Vegas.
Well, for
I
Sharky's,
know.
Yes, for a bachelor's party.
Another bachelor
Oh
party.
my
So
God, everyone's
hopefully,
getting
we might have
married.
Sharky on at some point too. He still has some of my Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
manga. So hopefully, Russo will be on to talk about Australia. Russo will be the subject of a lot of conversation and stories because he would have these parties at his house. Now, granted, I wasn't at many of them. I was only at probably
I was at a
two.
few.
Of,
Nick T was by the most.
yeah, Nick T was that many by choice. Yeah, I experienced a couple. It wasn't by seeing.
Oddly enough, I think the way I try to split myself between my girlfriend and whatnot, I wasn't at very many of Matt's.
Yeah.
Only like
He
maybe
had some
3 or 4.
crazy parties.
I know. Not
So
very much-
one of my most fun memories
Oh God.
of one of his parties. Do you remember this kid Kyle? I don't want to say his last name. Now, was this sleepwalking or was he just really drunk? Because he woke up. He was asleep on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
He woke up. And then he urinated on someone's sweatshirt that was on the
Yeah, I
kitchen
remember.
floor,
I was at- yeah.
and then went back to sleep. Would you count that as
No.
sleepwalking or just
was
being a drunken idiot?
He was a drunken idiot. And, you know, aside from that, that was probably intentional.
Whose sweatshirt was that?
Was it Sean's?
It might have been Sean's.
We can ask him that when he comes on.
Was that the night? That was a bad night for. No, it was Sean's.
Oh.
It was a bad night.
Oh,
That
it
was-
was that night.
it was
That was a
Oh.
horrible night for Sean. That's another classic
That's another.
story.
We could save that story for another
I mean, do
time.
we tell that now?
we should
Because
tell
that's
that now.
that's one of my
You wanna
favorite
tell that one?
stories.
Alright.
Yeah.
we're gonna transition from dreams to this story.
We're
Yeah.
gonna transfer from dreams.
This
just
story.
temporarily.
We
leave.
can-
This
talk
story
about
is
dreams
horrible,
forever.
man. This is a horrible story. So Sean was seeing. I mean, no one's
really
looking
se-
up this podcast.
No,
they
no
were
checking.
together.
They were together.
They were
I,
together.
I
They
don't know.
weren't-
I wouldn't know if I'd say last names though.
Oh no, I would never say last names. This girl, Kat. I'll say it as an abbreviation. He was with this girl, Kat. They'd
still
probably
like
been,
that name.
making out for 3 months. I mean, they were pretty into it.
Yeah.
Most of us thought they're definitely going to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, they weren't
in high,
dating yet,
In high
technically.
school, I think people are a lot more hesitant to be in committed relationships. I think that's fair to say. I think the
Sure.
older you get, the more enticed you are to kind of move into
Some
quicker.
people
Speak
adopt
for
that
yourself.
Some people adopt that mindset in college.
Sure.
More,
You
but,
know what?
I get what you're saying.
I guess it depends on the person. Anyway, we're like, okay, they're probably going to be a thing soon. So Sean is at this party. It's a party of about 40 people, and he looks over at the couch, and Kat is making out with this other guy named Ryan.
Yeah.
And this Ryan
Oh, that's
kid
right.
is known to
Yeah.
be a bit of a, he gets around. That was his reputation.
Yeah, he had a rep.
Regardless,
I
even
really don't know why.
even if
Like,
he
like
was
why?
he's tall.
The only interaction I
plays
had with
soccer.
him, he was a bit of an asshole to me. It was about
Yeah.
8 years ago.
It's just I don't know. I didn't think there was anything that great about him.
Sure. But you know what? Sometimes
It's high school.
He was obnoxious.
You know what
but-
though? You don't need to look that attractive if you have charisma. I really do believe that.
Even
He
if
was
it's
a
in poor
very,
taste.
Yeah.
very charismatic kid.
He was very
In poor
good.
taste,
And a
charismatic.
very decent soccer player.
And a very- So anyway, she's, smooching with this Ryan kid, and Sean, who's a little drunk at this point, gets very upset, rightfully so. He's been with this, basically been dating this girl for 3 months.
Right.
And so he goes outside and he starts crying hysterically on the patio outside.
We're not laughing because of what happened to Sean
No.
right now.
No, I love
But-
Sean. And it all worked out for Sean. He's getting engaged to
Yeah.
apparently a very nice woman.
She's great.
I've never talked to her. But
I've met her when
apparently-
she's come in.
Oh, really?
Very-
apparently,
very-
she's a very
very-
sweet girl.
very
So you know what? It all works out.
Yeah.
And so Sean is crying on the back patio, and we have a friend.
So he goes from he's actually by the pool. He's on one of the lounge.
You're
chairs
right. He's by the pool, and we have a friend named Etienne.
Who
We've
we've spoken
we've
about
mentioned before.
Yes.
The one who's not the same
Right,
pussy he
right.
was in high school.
Very, very emotional human being. Someone who was always very depressed, and you know,
most performatively.
now he kind of fills that void with drugs. But whatever.
Well,
and
drugs
so
is a loose term, but he just smokes. I mean,
he,
like,
he doesn't do painkillers.
I don't think so.
Oh, that was I might have gotten
Been there.
I might have gotten misinformation. Anyway, so Etienne goes, we're all like, okay, well, someone should talk to Sean. You know, someone who's a little more level-headed and not drunk.
Yeah.
And Etienne goes, you know what? I'm going to talk to him.
And
I
we
got
all,
this,
like,
guys.
And it's like, that's a terrible idea.
We all thought it was a terrible idea, but Etienne seemed really determined. Like, guys, I have to do this. You have to let me go out and talk to Sean and calm Sean down. So we all are gathered around the kitchen counter by the revolving doors, and we're like, all right, Etienne, you got this, man.
So we look over.
So
and
Etienne,
they, like,
Etienne goes outside,
Yeah.
and he sits next to Sean.
Yeah.
And so then we look over back at Catherine, and I'm kind of lurking at this point because I want to hear what they're saying. And at this point, they're not making out. They're aware of the situation. And Catherine's like, I feel really bad. And Ryan is like, yeah, I feel bad too. I didn't know you guys were like, like that. And Catherine's like, yeah, we are. And so about 5 minutes go past, and Catherine and Ryan walk upstairs
and you can presume what happened
to seal the deal.
Yeah.
After 5 minutes, after talking about Solus is right, after talking about how
they got
bad
over it
felt.
really quickly.
Yeah, they got over the guilt, and so
And
they
then
go
said-
upstairs to get it on, and then
then
we
we
look
look out.
we look outside to see how Sean is.
And they're both crying. But Etienne and Sean are
He was
crying.
letting them have it out. He's having them just have it out.
So he wasn't
All the
really
emotion.
helping whatsoever.
Etienne and Sean are both crying hysterically, and it really isn't something to laugh at. It's
But
funny to laugh at now. We weren't laughing
it's
in the
funny
moment.
because like somehow our friend Etienne made this about him, and somehow
Right.
just he's the one crying now too, and it's
Those parties, even though I was at 2, man, some great stories.
Yeah.
Some amazing
I'm
That
stories.
remembering
house
so
is
many
such a
good
stage
stories
show.
from just growing up, even now.
Man, yeah. Yeah.
it's rough. It's a rough life.
Yeah, so God bless him. Another one of my favorite Russo party stories. I guess we'll just get into it now. So especially since
Halloween?
we might have this man on. Halloween was a great one. We might have this man on next week.
But before you get into that
Yes,
story,
yes.
RedEye asks, if your high school is an anime or show, who would be the protagonist and who would be the antagonists?
That's a really good question.
That's an amazing question.
All right. Are we limiting it to like who we hang out with?
Who we hang out with? It has to be who we
Yeah,
hang out with.
fine.
Yeah.
Protagonist would be Russo, right? I feel like the group kind of revolved around
Yeah,
him. He was always a very nice. Everyone liked to hang out with him.
He's a protagonist.
He was definitely the protagonist.
Especially because he's also been in the heart of the most.
I feel like Nick
drama.
T's a protagonist. I feel
Right,
like
Nick
you
T
are.
too. But like, who's an antagonist?
Calibro.
Yeah,
Calibro, absolutely.
Calibro.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so if we limit to some specific situations, Dylan would be the protagonist and Calibro would be the antagonist.
In high
Yeah.
school, and we're going to talk about it, and I'd rather him be on when we talk about it.
so
But
he can defend himself.
in high school, there was a lot of times where I would say to the friend group as guys
Hey, I'm
would like,
interested in
hey,
this girl."
I'm interested in this girl. I think she's pretty. I like her a bit. We've been talking. All of a sudden, Calibro would end up favoriting all of her tweets and would end up basically making out with her and getting with her. And
Yeah,
I don't.
how we got
I
his
caused one of those situations, so I still
You
apologize.
did, and we'll talk about that.
I
You know,
too also caused one of those.
you both did, and it was the
situations.
same girl. So thanks for that. It was.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it was the
that's
same
same.
girl. You both assisted in that. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
It's a pity. Is a pity one.
That was about 5
so
years
and
ago. That was one of the most phenomenal ones that he pulled off because she didn't even go to our school,
No.
and he all
They
of a
never actually
sudden
met.
they never met, and all of a sudden he's on
And
her
every time
Snapchat
it's brought
favorites.
up, every time it's brought up, I apologize.
I know you
over it.
apologize. I mean, that was incredible, and he always played ignorant to it. He said, "No, dude, what are you talking about?" So like he honestly, to me, he was an asshole to me in high school.
So,
He
like,
really
as much,
was.
Like, obviously you see a perspective of us. We're all hanging out, we're friends, and like it's all good.
We
now.
are friends. It's
but
water
there was,
under the
there was a
bridge.
time where Dylan actively avoided Calibro at all costs.
Yeah.
Until like there was a few times that he literally had to corner him
There was a couple year periods where we did not speak
at all.
Where I would not
until
speak to him.
The hatchet
Yeah.
finally was buried at an Applebee's. like
he
4
called
years,
me
3.5
about
4
3.5 years ago, and he's like, "Hey, can we go to Applebee's?" And for the first time in 5 years, he owned up to it.
Yeah, and they
he
hashed
fessed
it
up
out.
to it, and he said, "Look, I'm sorry. I kind of did some things. I
Right.
understand where you're coming from." And he, for the first time in 7 years
yeah.
since high school, apologized for it.
Yeah, so like that's
And
that's,
then we
we've
buried
sort of
it,
let
water under the
everything
bridge.
up until now.
Yeah.
but before that, there was a lot.
It was bumpy roads.
Yeah, there's a lot of
absolutely.
like sort of interesting scenarios where somehow, even if he like somehow involved himself in people that like, there was no way it could have happened. And it
Coincidentally.
almost coincidentally,
Yeah.
girls that Dylan was interested or actively pursuing.
Yeah. Or even talking to in some
Yeah,
cases.
exactly.
And then all of a sudden they would stop talking to me and they'd be popping up on his Twitter feed.
Yeah, so
I mean, it was pretty amazing stuff.
and
But
that's not even like we're like just ragging on Cal.
no,
but,
no,
like,
no, that's true.
But it's all water under the bridge. And we're
It's all water
homies
under the
now,
bridge.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. You know.
Is it though?
He did it to me too. I mean, like, so
he did do it
Cal
to
might
you.
be like the what's the net phrase? The
anti-hero.
Yeah, I guess he'd be an anti-hero. Yeah,
Sonic called him the rival.
he is sort of the rival.
He
yeah.
is the
He's
rival,
not
but,
exactly
like-
the antagonist. He's more of a rival.
Yeah.
he's Gary Oak. He's Gary Oak.
Personified.
Yeah.
He is Gary Oak.
RedEye said he's like Bowman hunting after all of Dylan's crushes.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just
Exactly.
collecting
Yeah.
another one.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing stuff. But anyway, do we have any comments, any donations or anything?
We do have a little bit.
Okay.
Noah, by the way, is it my mic? Because that might just be my voice, or is it one of their
Did
mics
someone
that
say
is
it's like
low?
breaking up or low?
Yeah, it might just be my voice, so I apologize.
I bumped him a lot too.
Yeah, but yeah.
so
It should
I'm
be
sorry.
good. Maybe is my low? I thought
He just writes someone.
someone.
All right, so
It's definitely not me. I know I'm
all
high.
right, it's
I'll
it's probably me.
Well, Pete is
It's just it's
you're
me.
peaking, so like it should
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah,
I don't
might
want to
be Nick
blow
Keys.
your eardrums out. Know what it feels like.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me.
All
All
right,
right, no worries, no
So
worries.
we'll jump
But,
into
yeah,
some
we'll read
some
donations.
as they
Thank you
call it.
guys so much, by the way. Didn't expect any. I appreciate
I hope
it.
you're
Yeah.
enjoying our weird.
Yeah, I hope
high
you're
school
enjoying
stories.
it. You know.
Yeah, we just passed over 100 watching, 108 right now.
Oh, that's
Hell
great.
yeah.
I honestly expected like 50 to be watching this segment.
Hey, we have a lot of fun.
So we,
so.
yeah,
We'll
that's
talk
what
about
it's
anything.
about. Something different.
So Bam donated $5.
Thank you, Bam.
He said, "Hey guys, hope you guys are doing great. Do any of you guys have a favorite soccer team? Mine is Chelsea. Wish I
Alright.
could do more in the super chat, but this is all I can. Don't ever feel like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Bam.
No,
Thank
no,
you very
Bam,
much for your
Bam.
donation.
Literally nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You can donate
Ju-
nothing
just
and
you
watch every
showing
live stream.
showing up and commenting and
Yeah,
watching.
that
is
that
great.
means way more spam. So thank you. Don't ever feel bad.
That's right,
I am a
soccer team.
huge. You can see the flag right there. Manchester United.
Oh
fan.
man, see, for a second I thought you were gonna say Liverpool, but oh well.
No, of course I wasn't going to say Liverpool.
Oh, because that's what I would pick.
yeah. So Pete is a casual Liverpool fan. You root
If
for
I
anyone.
picked Premier League, I would say Manchester United just because of my exposure to Dylan and
Thank
I
you,
think they're
dude.
great.
Caliber is a Chelsea fan. Of
if we're
course,
picking
so.
like other leagues, I
Juventus.
probably I'd say Juventus.
Yeah.
Like my dad, who actually my dad's not much of like a sports fan really, but just growing up in Italy, it was a fan of Juventus, and so like we actually got to see that. No, we didn't.
You saw Napoli.
We saw Inter Milan.
Yeah.
But no, and I think just they're a great team. So that
Well,
would
they
be
have
the one.
Ronaldo now, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
That's so
watched
crazy.
every Man United game in the last 5 years. Wasn't really a big fan during the Sir Alex era. I never really paid attention to it. I got into it after they got bad, so you can't even call me like a front-running fan. That's
You
not.
still have the Robin Van Persie.
I have Van Persie. I have Pogba.
RVP,
Pogba.
man.
I'll have to take both of those down probably. But Man United kicked the season off against Chelsea on Sunday. The season starts Sunday already.
Yep.
So that usually they don't schedule big matches the first week. So the fact that Man United Chelsea that's going to be awesome.
great.
So really excited. Best of luck to you, Bam. But unfortunately, I do have to vehemently root against your team. But thank you for the donation.
Nicholas Horton donated €2,
Thank you, Nick.
and he said, "I have dreams about fantasy type settings."
Okay.
Yeah, I actually can sort of. There's one vivid dream that I had when I was like 10, maybe 11. It's still one of my the saddest dreams I've ever had, but I vividly remember like. From a bird's eye perspective, I just remember the setting. It was my life was an anime. I barely knew what anime was, but like my dad and I, also anime characters in a cherry blossom garden, going to visit my mom's grave, who's alive by the way.
Wow. Jeez.
But like it was a very dark, but like it was this whole fantasy like Japanese anime with no one in my family's Japanese, but we
Right.
were in that dream
Right.
in a cherry blossom garden.
That is
very
weird,
bizarre.
man. That is
So,
that is
yeah.
bizarre.
I was like 10 years old. It was very
Yeah.
weird.
That's crazy.
I woke up sobbing.
Yeah.
And I went to hug my mom.
Yeah, well, of course, dude. That's scarring, man. Yeah.
I mean, I've had so many crazy dreams over the year. I've had so many nightmares. I really haven't anything cool.
Have you ever had a dream predict the future?
Yes.
Really?
Once.
What I used to do
Write them down.
is I
in
used to
your
write them
notes?
down as soon as I
wish
woke up.
I should have done
I
that.
used to do that. And like I don't remember anything vividly like happening,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember like replaying conversations over in my dreams in different ways they could have gone. Anything I was thinking about the night before that still comes up if I had a fight with someone or I just had a fun time with anyone or a group
Yeah.
of people, like that comes up.
Yeah.
I always remember like in dreams most of the time, like if I have this thing sometimes, and probably people do too, where like you could realize you're in a dream while you're in the dream.
Yeah.
Never.
And so, like, while you're in it, like, you try to do things, like, so like, all right, it's a dream. I'll have superpowers. And it just never works. Not for me.
Oh, yeah. No. It's
And
never worked for me.
I can never break that fourth wall.
I think
when I'm
I've-
in a dream.
I've realized it, but I'm like,
I've
I don't
woken
know what to do.
myself up like that.
I
before.
never can.
It's
Um,
crazy.
Speaking, because you brought it up, the predicting the future thing. Even though I guess it's sort of just not exactly, but I remember my brother had I lost my Game Boy Advance, the classic purple,
Right.
and I loved it.
Ugh.
We looked everywhere in the house, like everywhere imaginable, and I had this dream where my brother had a walk-in closet in his room, and he had this like sort of like Lil Tykes like art desk, and there was a drawer
Oh, God,
like that
I
flipped up.
remember those.
And so in the dream, I literally get out of bed, walk over, go into his room, broad daylight, open his closet, open the drawer, and there it is. And then I wake up like in the morning, same kind of lighting, and I do the same exact thing, and there it is.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Like even though it's
That's
not
nuts.
really predicting the future, but it's almost like my mind took me to a place.
Yeah,
that I
yeah, yeah.
hadn't-
No, that-
somehow I didn't. hit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe like at some point you saw it, forgot about it, and then your brain remembered it.
Yeah,
it was weird.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. We have a new member.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Botswami DJ is
Oh,
now a member.
DJ, number
Is he
13,
still on?
trying to get to 15. DJ, thanks, dude.
DJ, if you're still on, comment.
DJ, if you're
hit
still
us
on,
down below.
spam that caliber emote, dude. Thank you so much for becoming a member.
Yeah, so now you can do that all you want. It's
That's
what you've
awesome.
always dreamed to do, DJ.
Yes, yes. The
Also-
Pete emote is coming soon. Don't
Oh,
worry.
Jesus.
Also, sorry I didn't text you back, DJ. I will.
DJ, let me
That's
know
messed
what
up.
No,
about.
like we were having a conversation, and then I just like forgot.
Yeah,
to
let me
answer.
know about my. Yeah, you didn't text me back. Either.
Also, either way, we'll see you on next Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, are you going to be able to go?
I don't know if I'll be able to get off work.
Come on.
You know, weekends are kind of mandatory.
Yeah, but do you
through
work
August.
late, like an afternoon on Saturday?
Do
Because
that.
I do.
Well, if I work 3 to 11 Friday, 3 to 11 Saturday,
Yeah,
Come at 11.
you can't
What
do
am I
it.
gonna
You
do?
can't do a morning Friday.
probably not. I don't really have. I don't really have the ability to kind
You
of.
might be able to get off. They
Maybe.
might just give you off.
Maybe. I'll have to
Damn.
ask.
Fingers
Right.
crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to ask about that. They're also talking about having either Caliber merch or Pete merch in the comments.
You know,
I don't know why
I will-
anyone would want merch
I will
of me,
say
but
this:
thank
I
you.
will 100% be launching merch before the end of 2019.
Wow,
it will
all right,
be-
making a statement right here.
Yeah, I will 100%. I'm still looking for an artist for Yu-Gi-Oh drawings that will be okay with just kind of maybe not, I don't know. I'm still
Letting you merchandise their
letting me
art
merchandise their art. Yeah, obviously commissioning their art, paying for their art,
Right.
and then
is
letting
one
me
thing,
merchandise
right?
that.
Because that's a whole
That'd be
other.
cool. DJ
yeah.
is still here, by the way.
Oh,
I love you, DJ.
Yeah.
I still haven't
Um,
listened to that album yet, but I will. Dreamville.
All right. Who by who?
No, Dreamville's the artist, and it's with J. Cole.
Oh, okay.
He loves it.
I want to check
Check
that
it out.
I
Revenge
love,
of the Dreamer.
I love
3,
J.
think.
Cole. Brian Ford donated $5.
Thank you, Brian.
He said, I usually only dream when I was in deep in thought before I went to sleep. And then I will have a dream where I live out a realistic dream about that thought.
Oh wow.
So that's nuts. So basically,
That's-
he's saying like his. Oh God, thank God that's not me.
Yeah, because you'd be.
Because I think
Yeah,
about
you'd be-
everything before bed. Oh God, that's like a curse right there. I can't even imagine. But
That- I mean,
but
that's
that also kind of supplies what I was saying, where if your mind is like hyperactively thinking
Yeah,
about things,
you're
you're more likely to dream. Yeah.
It's interesting though that your mind is able to. Because like most of the time, a lot of my dreams are a total mess. Like even if I'm thinking about something, so the fact that your mind's able to sort of continue that train of thought is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, that
cool.
is pretty
I
dope.
like that and how you could play out the whole scenario.
Yeah.
So maybe if you do it in real life, you already ran a test run in your head.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That simulation.
That's kind of
You
cool.
ran a simulation
Yeah.
to see that
That's cool.
the Ignis won't work with people.
By the way, speaking of Ignis, Yugioh will be on. He's in New York, flew all the way out from California. He will be on talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Sunday at 8 p.m. EST. That's when we're aiming to do it. Sunday evening.
Ooh.
It will be me, Nick T, Calibro, and Ute. So maybe Jordan as well. So that will be
That's possible.
really, really exciting. Can't wait to hear from him.
That'd be awesome. He did say earlier, check your phone. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know why, but he did say that.
Let's see.
It's his nudes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's probably not gonna be me. I know. I'm sorry. I would love to meet you.
The only way that P
I'll
could
be
come is
probably
if we started at like midnight and his
Yeah.
flight is on Monday. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna
that's-
do that to you, but I will definitely be in the comments. Also, Shadow Rum said, "Make Pete wear Revolver's helmet facing off against Calibro with a soul burner scarf."
That would be amazing.
Wait, so that's the farthest anyone's traveled to come on the show, right? Because it was Rarity with Florida.
Yeah, and now this.
And
would be it.
I mean, Jake and Garrett came pretty far as well, and so did Jesse. Yeah, everyone's come.
Jesse, technically speaking, came from.
Yeah, now he's not in Illinois anymore, but he was in not Wisconsin, not
Wisconsin.
Illinois. I always think Chicago. I don't know why. Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, I guess we can't count Russo since he's home, obviously. For
Yeah,
other reasons.
Russo lives around he literally lives around the corner.
Yeah.
But that will be the
Australia,
farthest
yeah.
person.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Who do you think the first European guest will be? It's Brad as HD?
That'd be great.
Nah, it won't be him. I mean, it'd be great. I don't think he'd fly out here, but
Yeah, if anyone,
really
yeah,
awesome.
if anyone's got that spare cash to fly over, come hang.
Just you gotta Jack Dawson it, right? You stow away on a ship,
Wow.
and you just come over to sea.
yeah.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Or you swim like Michael Phelps.
Yeah, you can
he
swim
did that.
across the entire Atlantic Ocean. It won't be a big deal at all.
Especially during Shark Week.
Oh God.
Oh, it's over now, I guess.
No, yeah, it's over, but they're still around. I was reading about the Greenland shark that apparently lived like over 400 years. Pretty crazy.
Damn, that's an old shark.
That's dope.
Yeah, they have parasites that like eat their eyes out, so a lot of times they go blind. But he's been here since like the 1600s. Pretty wild. Died a few years ago, I think 2016.
He's probably eating a lot of sailors, you think, right?
Well, apparently they don't attack human beings, and their flesh is poisonous, so no one eats them.
That's so dope.
Apparently that's the thing.
Sharks only kill like 5 humans a year.
And we kill
And
a
they
lot of
usually
sharks.
just mistake them for other animals because that's what it looks like.
Right. But not only that, but like cows kill like 20 humans a year. My brother says that cows are far more deadly than sharks.
That's
My brother, I don't know what it is, but he thinks that cows are like these like masochist killers
Oh my god!
that like hunt down humans. You got to get my brother on a cow
That'd be a
rant.
good, really
gotta do
good,
that.
like,
I'm
that'd
gonna
be a
make
really
that.
good plot for like a story.
You got to get him on a rant about cows.
I mean, things like hippos and all that stuff that people would think is harmless, they cause a
Oh,
lot of
hippos.
hippos.
damage.
I mean, hippos are violent.
Hippos, pandas have known to been attack
Oh,
people.
come on. not
All
a
those
panda.
things. Yeah, even those.
yeah, Jack Black, dude.
Oh my god.
Blue panda.
Frobel Vergara donated $5.
Thank you,
Frobel.
Frobel.
He said my precognitive dream about me crashing, but it happened to my cousin in real life. The weird thing was the color of the car. I was 15 and my cousin was 18.
Wow.
Wow.
So I guess he premeditated
That's
a car accident.
crazy.
that's great. That's
And-
terrifying. Actually.
Right, like that's why I'm glad I've never had any dreams like where tragedies occur. Actually, I did have a dream where my cousin passed away and we were at her funeral. This was about 2 years ago. And I remember telling my mom about it. Thankfully, that dream did not come true. And I know it didn't come true because it was when she was at college, even though she still has 1 year left. So fingers crossed. But like, yeah, it's crazy to, oh God, imagine that if one of your dreams, like where you dreamed about a tragedy came true, that'd be horrible. But Frobel, thank you for the donation. Long distance relationships will be the next topic on this
Yes.
Oh,
podcast.
he was. Oh, right.
Yes,
Yeah.
we would jump into
Yeah.
that. Goose also wrote to me. He said, soon all the patrons will be on the stream. Ha ha ha.
Yo,
Goose,
that'd be so
yeah,
sick.
Goose, come by. I think Goose lives in New York. I think I met Goose at Liberty City.
That's a Goose. Come on
Goose,
down.
what are you doing,
Come on.
Goose?
You
You're
can take
over-
the
you gotta-
train
you
right
gotta-
over.
Jersey
You
Transit.
got an
right
open
down.
seat, Goose.
Yeah, Penn Station to
Middletown stop. I'll pick you up. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Red
And a lot of
car.
people are saying, yes, cows are typically more dangerous than sharks.
Yeah.
Omar said, I worked on a ranch and they are far more deadly than you think.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, well, they're big things.
Now
They're
I'm
throwing their
come
weight
on,
around.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why they say don't cow tip,
Yeah,
It's dangerous.
right.
Yeah.
Well, Caliber tried cow tipping.
I think he did, actually.
Yeah.
He got drunk one night when he was
Yeah.
in South Carolina, went out to a
Yep.
field, and
Yep.
Giving. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not even good.
you want to give the whole Caliber story. Bam donated $2.
Thank you,
It
Bam.
said, sleep paralysis is the worst. I felt a snake on me.
No,
No, I'm good.
I
good.
can relate to things like that,
No,
Bam.
no, no,
It's
no,
not
no.
fun.
Oh God.
That's I don't even want to think.
You
I'm
should
not
try
even
sleep
scared of
paralysis sometime.
Well, luckily, I feel like it's not something you can try willingly
Yeah,
unless you take copious amounts of medication.
it's true. I've had fever dreams. I get really, really bad fever dreams.
No, I've never. Have you ever hallucinated from a fever?
Oh, absolutely. I do
Yeah.
almost every time I have a high fever.
I never have.
I thought I broke everything in the house one time. I
Wow.
freaked out to my mom. I thought my bed was a boat and I couldn't get off it because it was massive ocean all around.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I hallucinated pretty hard. But
Wow, I've
Jesus.
never hallucinated that much.
No, I've
Yeah.
never
And
hallucinated.
I remember like hallucinating, like there was a hole like where a nail once was in my mom's room, and I was like laying on like I was just laying on their bed or my parents' bed instead of my own, I guess, while I was sick, and I was just fixated on it, and to me it just kept moving. I was like, is that a bug? Is it like what is it? And I just for like probably like 2 hours stared
my
at it,
God.
just stared at this nail hole, like trying to figure out what it was.
And it was nothing.
It was nothing.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's brutal, man. That's brutal, Bam. Oh God.
can't imagine. But I can.
Are we good with donations?
No, there's more, but do you want me to stop?
Well, do we want to talk long distance relationship, then finish up the donations?
Was there anything?
Can we just jump into this one before we can do that?
Yeah, I guess if there's any more that have to do with dreams, we'll do those.
I'm doing it for a different reason.
Oh,
You'll
sure.
see why in
Sure.
3 seconds.
Yeah.
Brian Ford donated $50.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
shit.
And he said, what kind of unrealistic / fantasy dreams have you guys had? I remember having 2. One where everything was normal, but my mom was a cyclops. And
Whoa.
2, when it was a normal day at school, but the floor collapsed and me and my friends were in a big bowl of soup.
Oh my
That
God.
sounds both kind of sick.
Those sound like acid trips. Those
Yeah.
don't sound like
They
dreams.
really do.
First and foremost, Brian, thank you for that extremely
that's
gracious
unreal.
amount. Brian, you're someone who donates a hefty amount every single stream, dude. So thank you so much, man. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know you were a patron at one point as well. You're incredible. Thank you for the support
Yeah,
you
man.
show me in this channel. Crazy acid dreams like that. I remember a dream. It wasn't really trippy, but I remember it. Well, honestly, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains Opening 3 dream.
Yeah, it's
That was a weird dream. I got to go back on the tweet because I forget what they were saying. Like, I forget the details of that dream. But I remember waking up and thinking, like, it's one of the most bizarre dreams that I ever had because we were all literally on that couch watching it on this TV, which is not where we even react from anymore. We were all, like, looking
old
up.
days.
And it was almost like the music was trying to, like, hypnotize us. And the visuals were really weird. And that was weird. That was a weird dream. And, like, it's tough for me to even answer because I don't remember a lot of my dreams.
Right.
Another one that I remember, actually, no. When I was 6 years old and a huge Pokemon fan, still a pretty big Pokemon fan,
Yeah.
I was at
Clearly,
this,
that's what we
this
talked about today.
refugee camp. Or I was in this, like, church, and we were all, like, hiding out, and we weren't allowed to leave the outskirts, and Officer Jenny was there, and she was worried about Squirtle. The Squirtle from the Squirtle Squad.
Of course.
And I remember this dream pretty vividly. And Squirtle ended up walking through the doors with the sunglasses on.
Hell yeah.
And the second he walked in, he slowly started walking up the aisle. And Desperado by the Eagles started to play.
Great song.
Great song.
Jordan's favorite song of all time.
Had nothing to do with what was happening, but it was just Desperado, and as that Squirtle's walking up the aisle or the pews or whatever it's called in a church, and he got to the top of the stage, and everyone was just fixated on him, and then the dream just ended.
That's amazing.
So that was probably the weirdest dream I've ever
Amazing.
had, and I remember
love
that.
that.
I was like 6 years old. I remember that dream.
Did you also have a crush on Officer Jenny? 'Cause I did.
No, not particularly, but Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy look the same.
No, they did.
I think they were cousins. I'm almost positive Officer Jenny and
I think
Nurse
you're
Joy
trying
were
to start a
cousins.
fan theory.
No.
No,
Nurse-
well, because they all their cousins were other Officer Jennys and other Nurse Joys. There was like tons of.
Was it? Do you
each of
think
them.
was that exclusive to the English dub, or is that like a real?
Oh yeah,
thing?
wait. Can someone confirm that? Yeah, because I'm
I'm sure
positive.
they
Like,
will.
there's like all the Nurse Joys knew each other, like
Right.
and all the Officer Jennys, like they're all like related, or like
Yeah.
they all like had some relation to one another.
Yeah. Did you see new Pokemon got revealed today? And
The one
Not
that looks
Sun and
like
Moon.
Gene Simmons.
the one that looks like Gene Simmons.
I
Yeah,
did
the
not see
Tom-
that. I gotta
It's
check that
a
out.
Zigzagoon form for the new game. It's cool because what Gen 7 did what Sun and Moon did, is they did Alolan forms, but it was only for Gen 1 Pokemon that got
Right.
the Alolan forms.
So now we've got
Now
Gen 3.
Zigzagoon, now anything's up for grabs. So any
Wow.
Pokemon from any gen can get like a forget what it's called. I forget the region that Sword and Shield are in. Galagar, I think.
Sure.
Galagar form, something like that.
Like every Pokemon that's in that game has one of those forms.
No. It's just that any Pokemon from any generation has the potential to get one of those forms. It's whatever they choose. Not every Gen 1 form, not every Gen 1 Pokemon has an Alolan form.
Right.
Like Raichu does, Marowak.
Okay. But like, any gen is up for grabs.
Any gen is up for grabs. So like Chikorita could get a form. Probably
it.
not because she was a starter, but like
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Like Flygon could get a it's
That
it's
could be
cool.
sweet.
And Zigzagoon evolves into Lanoon, but they added an extra evolution to the Gene Simmons.
Right.
For this
Oh,
because it has 3 evolutions.
Right, yeah.
And Zigzagoon doesn't in the original. So that's really cool. I'm really excited for Sword and Shield. I
I
know
hope that stuff will be eventually added to Pokemon Go.
Oh, it will be. It definitely will be. It's gotten a lot of backlash for not having the national decks, not having every Pokemon in it.
It's a little ridiculous.
But I'm completely fine with it.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know.
I'm
how
a
much I
little
like
upset
that.
by it, but it's not a huge deterrent. For
Yeah,
me.
it's not a deterrent for me at all, personally.
What is a deterrent for me is the fact that I don't have a Nintendo Switch yet. so
That's a huge deterrent. That actually is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
It's a get out of his house right now. Nick T, a couple people said that you were correct. Jelly Bean said in the English dub, I can confirm that they were. A lot of people are saying clones. And so they're
Clones.
technically all sisters and cousins and
Oh.
stuff like that.
Not the Nurse Joys and Officer Jennies, just each one individually.
Yeah, well, Joseph Tedisco said Nurse Joy and Officer Denny were not related.
Okay.
They're just related to all the other of each other.
Okay, I was misunderstood. Thank you, Joseph, and everyone for
But
correcting.
is it exclusive to the dub?
Right, is it a dub only thing?
Yeah, could that?
Yu-Gi-Oh has trained me to question everything I've heard
Yeah.
from the dub.
What do you mean? There's no Shadow Realm?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Shadow Realm actually himself said only Zigzagoon so far, Gen 3. Wheezing is a bong.
Yes.
Is that he looks like a bong?
Well,
not real, is
he has the top hats that make him look like Doug Dimmadome. I'm not even kidding.
is he owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Yeah, he looks like Doug Dimmadome. Doug Dimmadome, which is pretty insane.
That's great.
Yeah, he I guess bong. Yeah, I can see why he thinks.
I wonder if that's intentional.
Probably.
His name is
Wheezing, coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, amazing. I'm pumped for Sword and Shield. And Brian, yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what
I
about
also
your
don't have a
dreams?
full.
Trippy dreams.
If you want to go, I have to think about that for a second.
Okay.
I mean, I just have really bad nightmares. So like usually I've had Michael Myers stab me
Oh my God.
in a field of bushes once, like a maze like of just bushes.
What is your mind?
It tortures me like that.
I do have one.
Shoot.
One specific. So, I had this one dream, and like, I guess the activity. I don't exactly remember the activities that I was doing, and the whole and they're somewhat irrelevant to the story. But this whole dream, for an entire sleep cycle worth of dream, I'm just me. Except I was breathing through an air tank. I had like a mask on. And I was breathing through an air tank that I had to carry with me.
Okay.
The entire dream. I was just me. Everything seemed normal. I went through a high school gym, except I had a breathing apparatus. I needed to take that with me.
That's
And the funny thing is,
weird.
It all happened. I was like, I had trouble breathing the whole dream. It turned out I fell asleep with my arm like basically blocking my nose. And when I woke up, I was
I
like,
hate those type of dreams.
So
Oh my god.
the whole reason that I had this breathing apparatus in the dream is because in real life I was blocking my
Wow.
nasal passage.
Wow.
No, but I've had dreams like that where you're laying like on your arm or something, right? So your arm is dead in real life,
Yeah.
and in the dream I have no use of my arm. I
Yeah.
can't use it. So like it's like your brain like
Yeah.
subconsciously telling you like, dude, like that I can't breathe or like get off this body part.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I've never had anything like that. That's nuts.
Yeah,
But
I've
Brian,
had that.
thank you again for
Thank
that
you.
massive donation. Do we want to read a couple more, or do we want to go into long distance?
It's up to you.
talk?
Goose just wrote to me and he said the Galarian form are the Pokemon from the Galar region.
Galarian.
Yeah.
So Galarian. Okay, cool. I didn't know what the how the form, if it was going to be Galar form, Galarian. Okay, I like that. Thanks, Goose.
Shadow Realm said Shane Dawson inside Pete's mind.
Long distance relationship. So Frobel just asked about advice for long distance.
He asked about
right?
advice, yeah.
So first of
While
all, we
back.
should probably say none of us have been in a long distance relationship,
The
right?
I mean, the most was during my semester at Drexel, and while my ex was back home. So I was
Okay.
in Philadelphia while my ex was back home, and It was barely long distance. I was
Well,
home every other weekend.
Did Jordan stay a semester overseas?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
No. That's probably the closest thing. I didn't see Jordan for 4 months. 4 months I guess January, February, March, April. I saw her in April, so like 3 months, while she studied abroad in
England.
So that was essentially a long distance relationship for 3 solid months.
So you have the best advice on how to speak about it. So what would you give to someone?
It's tough. It's very tough.
You know, it's I can't imagine it being easy.
No, it's not.
And like,
And it's
I've
not,
always been, I don't want to say opposed, but like, I've always been very hesitant to be in. I have great respect for people that can do long distance.
right.
I don't think you aim for long distance relationships. It
No, it's
usually just
never something-
happens.
Right. Oh, it just
Exactly.
happens. Yeah. You never think like, oh, I want to be in a long distance relationship. But if it happens, if you meet the right person, you meet the right person.
Exactly.
But like, I feel like I've closed myself off to the thought of it because like it's just it's very hard to maintain. And like in a relationship, you kind of need that. You don't need it, but it greatly helps to have just physical touch with another person.
Sure, yeah, and it does, but in our specific instance, I don't think that it was even the biggest thing. Like I probably could have done. I was fine with it, but if we were in the same time zone, that would have made things a hell of a lot easier. Like communication was the biggest thing with us. So like, we were 6 hours apart,
5, yeah.
5 hours apart. So there was times like when I was sleeping late or working late, or that we would just we would text like as much as we could. We FaceTimed whenever we could, but that wasn't very often, and it was terribly difficult, especially because there was a lot parts of her stay there where she was not very happy with her time there. So like that reflected poorly on our relationship because
Would you say
she
that
couldn't get to talk to me about it.
is
as
it
much.
fair to say that it put a strain on your relationship?
Sure, absolutely. But I mean, we got through it, and like when we could talk, it was great because she needed to get things off her chest about like, hey, like this thing bothered me, my roommate's being a pain, But like when she couldn't talk to me, it was like she was bottling it up, being very sort of combative, and it's not her fault. She just couldn't talk to me. Here's much as she wanted
Here's
to.
another thought on long distance relationships. If you're with someone in person for like 6 months or more, and then it becomes long distance, that is going to be very, very
That
difficult.
was us.
That-
We were together almost a year at that point.
If the relationship starts as a long distance relationship, it's more manageable.
Because you're used to it.
You're used to
Right.
it. That's the norm. But if the norm for 6 months or more is see each other often, you can talk all day long, then it becomes long distance, that is very, very tough.
Yeah, it's hard.
Very tough.
I do want to say, though, as part of advice for a long-distance relationship, if you really care about that person, it's very worth it to stick through it, I think, if you're both on the same page. If one person is like worried and like wants to experience life on their own to some capacity, let them. Like, don't try to hold them, tie them into a relationship, a long-distance relationship. Let them live their life because something could happen, but if you're both on the same page, it's worth it. Like it was for us, and honestly, in the long run, at least, I don't know, I can't speak on Jordan's experiences, but for me, I think it helped me become more of an independent person.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned to be able to not talk to her as like for longer periods
Rely
of
on
time,
her
to rely on her as
emotionally.
much. Like
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't speak to her as much as I wanted to, and I became okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much worth it, and I think when you see each other, it ends up being, they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. So, but that's only if you're on the same page.
Yeah. If there's any slight doubt in anybody's mind, it's over.
Well, I don't want to say that. If there's a slight doubt, that can't be talked out. If you can talk it out and like both end up on the same page, because like we had doubt, like Jordan was like, should we? But no. Like we just both agreed that like it's best for us to stick it out, and like we don't need, to
Right.
be on our own.
Well, your situation was a little different than mine.
Right, but I'm saying it doesn't. I'm not saying if there's any doubt, it's over, because that is a cynical way to look at it. But in your situation,
I
yes.
think the bottom line in any relationship, whether long or people live 2 minutes from you, I think everyone always says communication, trust. Like that's always
Yep.
the typical thing you hear. It'd be a thing you hear from a friend. It'd be a thing you hear from a parent. A thing you hear from a couples counselor. Okay, but it's true. Like talking to each other, not lying to each other, being honest, like that is so critical. And there's never going to be any relationship that every single day is amazing and perfect and wonderful. People go through problems in their relationship. People go through problems individually, whether it has nothing to do with the relationship or everything. And that doesn't make one person or both people bad. And if you love each other enough, you have to find a way or try to find a way to make it through and talk to each other and work out those problems, support that person. That's the best thing, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to support people. You got to support your partner. And in whatever way that is needed. Sometimes that means always being there. There might be moments, weeks where you need to be always attentive. And sometimes it means backing off and giving that person space. And that's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
You know, you have to let people grow on their own.
I completely
100%.
agree. And sometimes, to be not devil's advocate, but to look at it from a more grim perspective, sometimes, even though it kills you, sometimes the best way to let someone that you love grow is by letting them go.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that is
And that's
unfortunately a thing.
And that's, again, I don't want to get into too much detail because of Jarek.
Yeah, of course. But read the signs. That's like, it's definitely on top of what Pete said. Like, it's huge. Communication's huge. You know, being honest with each other is huge. But read, if you see it, like, if there are flags that go up, sometimes you have to know. But that was really insightful. By the way. That was
Yeah, that was
really
good, dude.
Yeah,
That was dope.
I was
That was
really impressed.
Yeah, that was really good.
At the end of the day, also, you have to remember, if you want a relationship to work, you have to love yourself first. And so if you have personal problems, if you have issues, you need to work those things out with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it might mean talking to a therapist or talking to someone, but
Yeah.
you need to work those out if you want to be that person, that healthy person in a relationship, if you want to be there. How could you help someone else if you're broken yourself?
Right. I think that's the best piece of advice, the best takeaway. You can't love someone unless you love yourself. And
In any relationship.
In any relationship. And like, I saw a therapist for about 4 sessions, and it helped me tremendously. And if I ever felt like I had to again, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
After 4 sessions, after some time, I felt like I was, and so did my therapist, that I was at the point where I was able to kind of be okay without that. But like, if you need to talk to someone, talk to someone. You can't have a lot of things bottled up and then take it out on another person in a relationship. Like, relationships are hard, and it's a, every day is a learning experience, and you have to be comfortable with who you are before you can be comfortable letting another person in. And also, there's no timetable on it. Whether you're in your first relationship in your late 20s, early 30s, it really doesn't matter.
It does not.
Because would you rather meet someone when you're 32 years old and settle down with that person and be with that person happily for 40 years? Or would you rather meet someone when you're 22 years old but end up getting divorced by the time you're 28, meeting another person at 30, getting divorced again mid-30? Everyone has different routes.
Right.
Everyone has different routes. Don't rush into anything. Just take your time with it. And the right person, the right situation will come to you eventually. And don't put pressure on yourself based on what other people are doing, especially your age, your family. It doesn't matter. You are living your own life. You're creating your own story.
And building off of that, like, everyone does build their own paths. And sometimes those people do get together at 22 and they're together the rest of their life.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
sometimes you find that person at 35. Everyone has different life experiences, and you can't say that someone at 22 might have gone through more things in their life than someone who's 45.
Absolutely.
And so that builds a person and matures a person, and that matters.
Yeah.
Maturity is a big thing in relationship. That's why I always, anytime I know someone or hear about someone and someone is significantly older than their partner, it usually, not every single time, but usually causes problems because those two people are on completely different maturity skills. So you have to take that into perspective too. There's so many things that you need to do in a relationship, and always remember that you can constantly learn. You never, ever know everything.
Nope.
Every person you've ever dated is different, and you could always learn. And
Absolutely.
doing that is just asking that person.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
it. Or even today's day and age, you could read up on so many things about how to try to help your partner.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but also if you're like, because for very long portions of my life, I was what I called like infinitely single, like single to the point where I couldn't even imagine working into a relationship.
How's that going with you now, Rena?
And so anyway, infinitely single.
You say that, but I feel like there were moments that like it almost seemed like it could. Like you say, you could never pick those times in your life. You could never.
Well,
picture
I
it.
mean,
I don't know, but I get what you're saying. I understand the feeling of feeling like that.
and sure, in one hand it kind of sucks because it's lonely, but in the other hand, like there are definitely pros and perks of being single. First of all, you can just save money, and I know that seems like very. What is that, materialistic maybe?
A little.
But saving money and like being able to like just kind of treat yourself and lavish yourself, that's nice. That's got its perks. You don't have to worry about I don't want to say like I don't want to say like you don't have to worry about another person. Like you can just focus on yourself. And like it's nice to care about someone else if you do care about them that much, but being able to just focus on yourself and focusing on your own goals and your own ambitions, that's got its perks. That's a nice part.
They both have
Absolutely.
pros
So
and cons.
like you know the whole society I think creates pressure that you need to find someone, you need to be in a relationship. You really don't. It doesn't matter.
Our whole society creates pressure in everything.
Yeah.
You need to go find that job.
Yep.
You need to do this in your community.
You need to have a house.
Yeah, you need to be married by this age, have kids. So there's so much pressure, like my parents do all the time, like oh, we're gonna get grandkids some days, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm really part of the narrative that wants children.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing that people in this day and age, especially in America, force on people. Like,
you know,
you have to have kids. You gotta continue the bloodline. But if I don't want to, then
Right.
that's maybe not part of my life.
right. You have to have kids. You got to invade Soviet Russia. It's like it's just all these things.
Oh, all right.
Oh, did I say that? Oh,
Yeah. Now Putin's
the Earth
tracking
is
you.
very populated, and if you don't want kids, you don't have to have them.
No, you don't have to have kids.
Don't let anyone
I
pressure you.
want to have kids. I want to have a family.
Me too.
But like,
But-
I completely respect people
Yeah,
that say
yeah.
they don't want to have kids. You know, kids are expensive.
So Frobel, I hope any of that or part of that was.
Yeah, I hope
helpful to
any
you.
of that helped. Yeah.
And I guess at the end of the day, because what you sort of added was about the idea of being single, working on yourself. If for whatever reason this long distance relationship you're asking for advice on doesn't work out, the biggest takeaway from that should be an opportunity to work on yourself. When my first relationship fell apart, I felt super dependent on that person, had to sort of refine myself, and I think it helped me as a human being. So I think
And we will definitely talk about the parallel experiences that we
we will.
had.
Once the Jarek's video
yeah,
comes out.
at a later date.
Yeah.
This will not be the first time we talk about this topic because I also want to have like a heart-to-heart with Calibro about this topic.
I think all of us would be good.
Because
Yeah.
I want to crack him open a little.
Because I want to crack him open because honestly, like
We don't
he's
get an
someone that-
emotional side out of
Yeah,
him.
we don't really get an emotional, and this is a perfect place to do it in front of the world. And like, and you know, he's someone who's-
Vulnerability is important.
He's someone who has always really fascinated me, and I've always admired that he's been able to be with like 95, 100 women, but yet he's never like been in a relationship with any of them. It's usually just a one-nighter.
Some
or,
people, it's hard
Except
to
for
commit.
that week that he was like dating a girl that I liked freshman year of high school.
right.
Right. Classic Calibro.
Anyway,
He didn't know though.
But
that topic will come up a lot more, but hopefully we were helped.
A little bit though, if I may.
Yeah.
Bam does write, kind of building on that like he was like, oh, in college I had some one night stands, but no dice in the end, and now I'm graduated. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever be in a relationship. I never had one. I remember each time a new face in my life, friends and my family would tell me if I would experience one, like almost like I got in high school. And like what I always say about things like that is like, you never know when you're going to meet someone.
Right.
And 99% of the time, most people, you're never looking. You're out there living that single
why,
life,
like, I don't really
and
love,
boom,
it
you run
happens.
into someone.
That's why I don't really love like
Dating apps.
yeah, like Tinder. I know my friend, Joe does plenty of fish. I think he has a date with a girl Friday. Hopefully that goes well.
Right. I have
Best
friends
of
like
luck
that
to you.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, and a lot of people use dating apps. But like, I don't know. I feel like the best way to do it is just to let things fall where they may.
Sure.
No,
and
I
some
agree.
people, I know some people that it's worked out dating apps. It has mostly it doesn't, but there have
Yeah.
been cases where it does. And maybe you marry someone, you're with them for 50 years. But like, I don't know. I just kind of like that romantic thought of just living life and let the
just
pieces
happening.
fall where they
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
In my experiences, the two most successful relationships are people who randomly meet each other, and it just kind of happens, whether they work together or they ran into each other on the street. It just kind of a spark happened. Or it's people that introduce to other people, whether it's same circles or anything else. That's just what happens. Those
Yeah.
are the relationships that last
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's well said.
Because, like, how many times have you heard... Don't laugh.
I mean, this guy's being a fool.
How many times, though, have
it's
you
late.
heard, though, of someone being like, they didn't have just a Tinder hookup? It's like, oh, that's my wife now. Well, when do you ever hear that.
Yeah. Well, it's also interesting.
Rare. I mean, my friend from college has been dating the same girl for 3 years, which is intended initially just to be a Tinder hookup.
That's crazy because a lot of times it's usually sites online like Match.com or something like that.
eHarmony.
Yeah.
But what Bam said that I always found interesting is I've been in one relationship and I've never had a one night stand. I've never, and I respect people that want to do that. That's fine. I've never really been my style. And so I find it fascinating because a lot of what Bam is saying and what Caliber would probably say to agree with him is that relationships are more difficult than one night stands.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
it's so much more emotion involved.
I completely disagree.
Well,
to me, I can't open myself up like that to another person unless I care for them emotionally.
Don't knock until you try.
So yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority
there. It's difficult in terms of maintenance, though. To initiate, sure. It depends on your perspective and getting into a relationship may be easier and than hooking up with somebody. But as far as maintenance, literally a one night stand, one and done. And
True.
And then you have to actually maintain and work on a relationship.
Right. I guess there's no emotional maintenance there.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish Caliber was on because he's the expert.
But it's funny you say bring Caliber up is because he too I think is someone that probably has difficulty seeing themselves in a relationship.
He also has, as he said, commitment issues.
He does have commitment
and that's something that people have from time to time.
And that's fine.
So we'll talk about that with him definitely at a later date. But yeah, thank you, Bam, for that comment. And yeah, hopefully we were a help to anyone. Do we have any other donations?
We do. I just wanted to address RedEye. He wrote to me, just in general, to all of us.
Sure.
And said, do you have any advice on dealing with college and university pressure?
Wow. Pressure, and I mean, because there's a lot. That's a sort of multifaceted question because there's a pressure in a lot of sides. Friends to keeping up with your social life, keeping up with work.
It's
a life-work balance is very difficult depending on if you're working and what your school load is like. So my advice, and oftentimes I regretfully in college didn't always take this advice, but just go to class, please. I regret a lot. I'll skip. I'll sleep in today. It was dumb.
I could never do that.
I was able to,
I did it every week.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know. There's just something in me that I get this guilty sensation. I could never skip class. I don't know
first
why.
year, yeah, and then after that, I was just it was easy for me. And
What
I regret it though, because I think I could have done better in a lot of classes had I one, not slept through, and two, not procrastinated as much. The best way to maintain a healthy life-work balance is just don't procrastinate. If you can get work done quickly and efficiently and early, do it because you'll kick yourself for not being able to hang out.
Do you want to hear something really fucked up?
Yeah.
So
demonetized
every single semester, I would email every one of my teachers at least only once. Saying that my grandfather passed away and I was unable to attend class. So I sent that email out. I literally sent it so much that I had it saved on a Google Doc.
You're lucky that no one caught you.
Well, it's funny. I vividly remember.
It was. I always felt my grandpa. Both of them, God rest, they were great guys. They had passed away at that point.
Prior to you sending.
Prior to me saying that, so it wasn't like they were still there and I was sending an omen.
Death on,
But I felt guilty about it. But looking back at it in college, I don't know how I did it because I had my YouTube channel that was basically a full-time job.
Right.
I was an RA, which was around the clock. I was an SA, which was a front desk worker, 20 hours at all hours of the night. I would come home on the weekends and deliver for Villa. So I had 4 jobs while being a full-time student. I don't know how the hell I didn't collapse. Looking back on it now, I don't know how I managed to do it.
Right.
So I would say don't take that many jobs. I know RedEye, I think it was RedEye who said that he does DoorDash, he works for DoorDash.
Yeah.
And that's a good side job because that's on your own hours.
Exactly.
So, but don't do that. Don't take on too much work. At school, you have to try and prioritize school and learning over work. And if your family's putting pressure on you, I feel bad because my family was not like that at all. Mine were very lenient and lax, and they were like, okay, I know you have it under control. But I know there are some families, especially in certain cultures, where it's very grade oriented. Especially
I know some of those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm kind of bad for advice to this because I worked when I went to school full time, and
Oh,
also
yeah.
at the time, especially in college, like I was doing obviously Clueless Gamers a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
like that. So that was like a round the clock job at that point too, and you're trying to live a social life and do things and stuff like that. And I'm a massive procrastinator, so like I don't know. There's something about when I work, I can work so much better when I create pressure. Like when I have 2 nights to write an entire research paper, I can do that better than, even though I know I should have did it 4 weeks ago.
Right.
I could just do it because I can focus.
I'm
so
the
much
same
more.
way. Yeah.
I'm also the same way, but by the end of my senior year, it got so bad that there were instances where I actually ran out of time.
I remember.
So like I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
I remember in the sophomore year of college, I had 5 classes, full-time schedule, but they all had 5 term papers.
Holy
end of the year, and I waited all the way till like the last 2 weeks of the semester.
My God.
I wrote every single paper in that time.
Unreal.
And I remember I had 1 class, and I think it was criminal justice or something like that. Or it was criminal justice, but it was a specialized in terrorism.
Oh.
And so it was a really interesting class. Shout out to Professor DeFazio. I hope he's doing well. He moved colleges after the year.
Oh.
And I sent the paper in like 2 minutes late to turn in. You ever use that
Turn it
website?
in, of course, yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was like 2 minutes late. I literally like the page was updating, and he was like, oh, sorry. You get docked like 30 points if it's late. And so I automatically got like a C on it.
Oh,
just because it was like 2 minutes late.
See that?
He didn't waive that?
No, he said he's a strict policy. So I got it though. I mean, what was I gonna do? It was late, so what was I gonna do? I wasn't mad. But I still got all the rest of them, though.
Don't procrastinate. That's what we're saying.
I know, but it's hard.
But as much as like I promote education and academics, the balance is vital. You'll lose your mind if you don't socialize. Like, don't shelter yourself. Don't be a hermit. Like, if you need some social like interaction, get it. Because
it doesn't even need to be
not
in
partying.
person.
It
can be online.
It can be
we had so many long phone calls every weekend.
Yeah.
And honestly, I always attribute that I thought we became way closer friends when I went to college by doing that.
Yeah,
and
The
that,
Last of Us
and
was
that,
big.
Yeah, and that helped both of us. Like,
That's
when we
probably
were trying.
the reason,
When I moved away for college to adjust there. Everyone left here when you were home, and like so it helped us. I think, in my opinion, adjust to those situations.
Yeah, I was one of the only ones. John and Joe also stayed, but like,
I mean, I was around the corner still.
sure, but I'm saying like that didn't leave Middletown.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. A lot of people leave, but yeah, you
it
having
doesn't
a
have
good
to
balance.
be. Good balance is important. I hope that helps. I wasn't exactly sure what pressures you were referring to, but I hope that general answer sort of.
Yep.
Also, remember that sometimes college and stuff like that is not for everyone.
Yeah.
So never feel pressure to go to a 4-year college, or there's nothing wrong with doing trade school. There's nothing
I think
wrong
in
with
England
any of
it's
that.
3 years.
Oh, really?
Honestly, we should have went to school over there because we could have got the same degrees for like significantly cheaper
way
money.
cheaper, dude. Way cheaper.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You want to go back to some donos?
Yeah, we'll read the donos and wrap up things.
Yeah, and thank you, Goose. Yes, it was a horrible time crunch, but thanks, kudos.
I
And
remember that week. That was rough.
it's a nightmare. Then Goose coming back
wow.
donated $2, and he said, "Talking of dreams reminds me of the movie Inception, one of my favorite movies of all
favorite
time."
movies.
I watched it on an airplane coming back from Turks and Caicos. It was a weird movie to watch on a plane, but
It's great,
was,
right?
It was trippy, man.
One of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies.
Yeah,
Dude,
good movie.
Leo is one of my favorite actors.
It's one of those movies that you watch a few times to really understand everything, all the nuances.
People have
A lot of
told me that
layers.
when I don't have facial hair, I look like a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't see it, but I'll give you this one.
That's what a lot of people have told me.
Specifically, who has told you that? Can you name how many people?
At least a dozen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's so weird. I've never been for any of those times where people said that.
Well, I'll,
Get it on video next time.
Okay, sure.
Nicholas Horton donated €5.
Now you, Nick.
And he said, I had a dream when I was a kid that I saw a medieval ghost in my room, and when I woke up, I saw the exact same ghost.
What?
Wait. Can we
So
talk about
I guess
that?
Nick is confirming
He saw
that there is ghosts.
Yeah, wait.
I believe.
Was it Halloween?
I believe Nick went to bed
Okay.
a while ago because these donations were a while ago. I said goodnight to him a while ago, so I don't
Okay.
know if he saw the
well,
chat.
Nick,
but
if you
yeah.
ever watch this
Wait,
back, we love you, man.
Since you saved this document, we should address that with him.
Yeah, we will.
Sometime.
Well, that's weird.
Because I'd like to know
Yeah,
when he
me
woke
too.
up being confronted with a ghost.
Yeah, that's something.
That
That's
definitely goes back to a Halloween episode we could have.
Ooh, more ghost stories.
Betch Boy donated
Boy.
$4.
Thank you, Betch.
Said Vegas was lit. Just got back. Love y'all.
Oh, Betch Boy. Wait, was that
Wait,
Calibro?
It says Betch Boy.
wait.
Everyone's going
Well,
to Vegas.
yeah, so many people are in
Everyone's
Vegas. Are we
going to
getting
Vegas.
trolled?
Everyone's
Betch
going to
Boy,
Vegas,
we love you,
man.
man. Thank you for the
Vegas was
donation.
lit, just got back.
It sounds like something Calibro would say.
But it must be someone who we know who went and came back.
no,
Or
probably not.
I'm just telling you, a lot of people have been going to Vegas.
Yeah.
DJ just came back
yeah,
to
this is
Vegas,
the time to go to
completely
Vegas.
unrelated
This is
from
the time to go to
Caliber Strip.
Vegas.
This
No,
is it.
I didn't mean necessarily that we know in real life, but like someone must have gone. Who do we know?
Betch Boy.
Patch Boy. Yeah, I
We
hope
know
Vegas
Patch
was
Boy.
great.
Somewhere I definitely have to go. Gustavo Juice donated $10.
Thank you, Gustavo.
And he said, I had a similar dream to Pete with the shadow. I can sometimes cancel them with sheer willpower or prayer. It works most of the time for me now. Actually had one today.
the power of prayer, dude.
Yeah, like
That's
sometimes
awesome.
you just realize you're in the dream and you could force yourself
That's
to
why
wake
I
up.
always sleep. Whenever I sleep in my room, there's always a priest next to me and a bottle of holy water.
That's a true story.
That's true.
A
You've been in my room.
Shotgun too for all the
Well, there's a,
undead nightmare.
Yeah, there's a dude with a straw hat and a shotgun in my closet just in case.
You got to keep a John Marston around.
Yep.
You can't swim though.
Oh man, that made no sense in early video
Yeah.
games, did it? You
The
die
good-
when you fall in the water, like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Brian Ford donated another $2.
Thank you, Brian.
It said, Dylan, so you were Yugi and Cal was, you got to pronounce
Jonucci.
this. Jonucci.
No.
That's what he
That's
said.
what he
Cal was-
said.
Oh, that's what he said. Joe. Oh, I would say Cal was more Kaiba.
Cal was not Kaiba.
Well, he wasn't as cool as Kaiba, but
But he also
personality
wasn't
was.
like, I've got my blue eyes white No, like he wasn't like a
But
total,
Kaiba,
like,
Kaiba was different in the dub. He was different in the dub.
Oh, really?
Well, not that different.
Yeah,
but, you
no,
know,
he's not Kaiba.
Thank you, Brian.
If anything,
I-
he was Two-Face, like Bakura.
like, yeah, right. Actually, split personalities.
Oh my
Do you
God.
think Caliber listens back to these? No, right?
Probably not.
That's why I
he
say
doesn't
whatever.
he doesn't have the time to. He's so busy.
He doesn't have the time to, and I honestly don't think that he likes us that much. Like, I think he only hangs out with us just to like,
For clout.
yeah,
I mean, basically, like you have to think, like for
it's a
someone,
charity actually for him to hang
if
out.
someone
with
of his mere status, right?
Sure.
Why is he gonna watch something that he
No.
considers an inferior product? He's not in it.
no, he's not
So
gonna.
why is he gonna watch?
Well,
that?
he's not gonna. That's what I said.
Exactly. So
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
don't matter. We can
Good
say
talk.
whatever we want.
Good talk.
Good talk.
Thank you,
Calibro.
Gustav. Though, thank you so much, dude. for the
Calibro's not even an
donation.
illegal person of this country.
That was Brian Ford.
That was Brian.
Oh yeah, that was Brian.
Yes.
Sorry.
Bam.
Gustav was-
Donated another $5.
Oh, dude.
It
Thank
said
you,
I
Bam.
saw Barcelona versus Madrid in Miami with my dad.
that's
My
awesome.
treat to him. He's a big Messi and Barca fan. I'm the opposite. Real is my second team, and then he said CR7. No CR7.
I love CR7, but I'm Man United, so I have to.
I can't believe he
Yeah.
left, man. Can't believe
Real
you-
Madrid, yeah.
It's
That's
just
probably-
it's crazy that whole falling out happened and everything. And
Barcelona got Neymar back though this year.
Did he really?
Yeah, well,
Wow.
PSG. He went to PSG and he said this is a shitty team, and then he left.
Dylan's saying that because that's Caliber's favorite.
It's Caliber's favorite team. But I also like Chelsea.
So where did Ronaldo end up?
Ronaldo's still with Juventus.
Juventus,
Wow.
my
Yeah.
guy.
I still
Italy.
can't believe that, man.
Yeah.
Went to a league,
Oh yeah.
Didn't something happen with Ronaldo?
the Italian league.
He got accused of something in Vegas, but then they dropped the charges. They couldn't find any evidence.
Was it
Okay.
him or Messi that had tax problems? That
It was
weren't-
him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was him too.
I mean, that's what happens when you're the best player in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think Messi is probably.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
I never understood though that like when you have that much money, it's ridiculous you don't pay your taxes.
Yeah,
Like,
come on.
Well, what Bon Jovi and Springsteen did. Is Bon Jovi, they both live in New Jersey. Bon Jovi lives like 15 minutes from here. I'm not even
Yeah,
kidding.
no, he
Yeah.
lives on Navasink.
Yeah. So Bon Jovi would sell honey,
Mhm.
or he would have a bee farm and he would sell honey to Bruce Springsteen, and Springsteen would go grow crops and he would sell it back to Bon Jovi. So they wouldn't be losing any money, but they both were considered farmers and they would get farming subsidiaries and they wouldn't pay property tax.
I know. We honestly,
Is that
everyone,
true?
everyone
Yes,
should
but
do
in,
that.
But in 2015, they changed it in New Jersey, mainly because of them. So now the loophole's gone, and now
Damn.
Bon Jovi's selling his house.
Yeah.
Damn. So he's selling that house.
We missed out on that loophole.
Guess he's not living on a prayer anymore.
Farmer subsidiaries. That's why I kind of want to be. Well, no, the best Bon Jovi line is when his daughter got arrested for cocaine, and there was a picture of her in the paper being put into a police car, And the headline was, "You give Dad a bad name."
Yo, that's
That's a good
amazing.
one. That's a good one.
I
like
mean,
that.
those journalists,
That's
man, they don't
insane.
get no shit.
Especially when
care.
you have like something like the Daily News or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
God,
yeah, they're
that's
brutal,
great.
man. They're
Tabloids
heartless.
are great.
Yeah.
Chorus Singer 21 donated $2. No message, just donated.
Thank you
$2.
so
Oh, wow,
much, man.
awesome.
Thank you. Hope you're enjoying.
Jerica Brule
Thank you, Jarek.
donated $5.
Thank you, dude.
And so with the popularity of esports growing thanks to Fortnite, what what would the Yugioh TCG be like as an esport?
It'd be massive. I think it would bring a lot of popularity to the game, a lot more players competitively playing. But Yu-Gi-Oh does not give away money prizes, and I think that's something that will never
Sure,
change as
yeah.
long as Kazuki Takahashi is alive. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh will ever give away money prizes. So for that reason, I don't think it will ever.
They're not
going to
be on like
Really
TBS on the
Yeah.
esports.
No,
Yeah.
but if
If-
that was the case and they were like the first major card game that was considered an esport,
Right.
I think it would be massive.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
people would be drawn to it just for the
Yeah,
sheer
see,
money.
Exactly.
Um,
Well, I do want to address, as much as like, yeah, Fortnite's popular and the recent inclusion in esports like was big and that prize pool was enormous, but I would say esports has been steadily on the rise for much longer than that. I mean, the Dota TI 7 prize pool was huge. Like Dota 2 is like been like sort of I would say a bit more responsible in the sowing the seeds of the growing of esports.
Yeah.
But yes, no, Fortnite, especially right now, because Fortnite's so popular, esports are in the hot seat.
I
Yeah.
still can't believe the whole thing happened with Ninja and he left Twitch and he's on that what
Mixer
other
now.
Mixer.
weird platform.
He's got so much money he can take risks
But
like
honestly, that's a huge career risk. It's a big risk.
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, but you know what? He can take it.
He could for now, but if
If it flops,
if it doesn't
Twitch will
go
much
the way
less.
he wants it to, he's
If
gonna,
it flops, he can just go to like YouTube or something.
yeah, but that's hard restrictions. You know how that is.
I don't
Should.
know. Well, I do know how that is, but yeah, because YouTube takes like 30%, or I think they take like.
And it's just different
third.
community guidelines. It's just a
But
different
you know
world.
what? He is completely fine. He's got sponsorship deals. He is fine. He
I
can
just
take that
never
risk.
understood his popularity.
But no one's untouchable. I think that could all go away in the blink of an eye.
As long as you're careful with your money, he's
Yeah.
fine. I think he's fine.
I would like to see something though in esports for Yugioh. That'd be awesome.
It'd be great, yeah. But they have
It'll
to
never
give away
happen.
cash prizes. It'll never happen.
It'll never.
They have to give away cash prizes, so I don't
Yes,
think
that
they
would
do
happen.
it.
Yeah,
but
but
it
Jarek,
would be
that's
huge
key.
though, given like it's.
Yeah, no, great commentary there, Jarek, and thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. man.
JP Crow TC donated $5.
Oh, thank you.
It said, "Thanks for giving me something entertaining to listen to while I draw fan-made manga."
Oh, sick!
That's
I would love to see that.
Dope. Yeah, you're welcome, JP.
Yeah.
Thank you for the donation, dude. I appreciate
You
it.
should DM Dylan
Glad-
and send that. I would
Yeah,
love to see it.
DM me. Send anything over.
Yeah,
My
that'd be
inbox
really cool.
is always
Maybe
open.
that could be your artist right there.
Yeah,
I
maybe,
don't
maybe.
A budding
Uh,
relationship.
Frobel Vagara came back and donated $2. It said, "I forgot to say I was in New York and my cousin was in Mex. I assume
Oh,
he
for
means
that
Mexico."
for the car crash stream, I think he's referring to.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why. Actually, that's makes it a hell of a
Crazy
lot
distance.
crazier.
Yeah.
Crazy distance. That's insane.
It's nuts.
Jack Rhodes is here.
Jack.
Rhodes.
Donated $2 and said, "Hey Dylan, have you seen the live action Yu-Gi-Oh?"
Oh yeah, we
Remember they talked about this last
brought to our
time?
attention last time, but
Yes.
I didn't watch it yet.
Jack, we will watch it before Sunday, talking Yu-Gi-Oh, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about it then.
Yes.
That is a promise, my friend. Thank you for the donation.
Underdale 88 donated $2.
Sammy.
And he said, "Please stop talking about the new Pokemon."
Oh well, yeah, no, I mean there are
It's
a
got
lot of
some
people
mixed,
that don't like it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's not for everyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frobel Vagara donated another $2 and said, "Thanks for the advice."
Oh, of course,
You're welcome,
dude.
my friend. Good luck with
Anytime.
everything.
I hope it was good.
We're just feeling good right
We're
now.
here
just
to
on a
give
roll.
advice.
We're on a roll.
After dark.
Goose came back, donated $2 and said, "I should hire y'all as life coaches with this talk."
Oh, hey, thanks, man.
Thanks, Goose. I
means a lot.
appreciate that a lot. Davis Enos donated $2
Davis.
My dude.
and said, "Just on enjoying a White Claw, listening to the boys."
Yo,
Is it
ain't
enjoying
no,
a White Claw?
That's
He's
what he
enjoying
said.
it.
Ain't no
I should go to
laws.
the. Oh wait, there's strict rules. about
Yeah,
it.
no, that's awesome, Davis. I hope it's a black cherry, but that's awesome.
I
dude.
do like Black Cherry the
I'm
best.
a fan of the
honestly.
raspberry too.
Thank you for the dono.
But I hope you enjoyed that.
It's a great guy.
He's
Everyone's great.
Everyone's great.
Goose also chimed in the chat and said, "All we have is the Pro Play Tour and Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments that only has a prize pool of $2,000 to my knowledge."
Oh, I guess there is a. I didn't know. I didn't even know there was something like that that existed.
That's
so.
just very
Small
low. It's not
pool,
going to attract a lot of people that don't watch. That's the issue.
Mhm.
So, Bam donated another $5.
Yo.
Thank you, Bam.
And said, "In college, I burned myself out. Barely passed last semester's. Lucky I had the first 3 years to graduate with a well GPA. Thanks for everything, guys.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
No, thank you, dude. That's kind of what happened to my brother. I know he burned out towards the end.
It's tough.
Yeah,
really
it's
tough, man.
hard to keep that momentum and that drive. But Bam, thank you, dude. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Bam is kind of new to the channel. I think he said that a
Yeah.
few streams ago.
Yeah, and he's
so-
been
And he's
really
been
active
donating-
lately.
Yeah,
donated a few
Jesus.
tonight.
Yeah, you don't. Thank you so much, dude.
And Davis did confirm that it is Black Cherry.
Good.
Nice. Good choice. My store is like on back order for that stuff. It's like
White Claw, people love it.
Man, like every time you go out, there's just everyone is drinking White Claws.
dude.
It's just the popularity of how quickly is insane.
because
Matthew
all my
Ken-
favorite beers are like untouched.
are not touched
Yeah.
because you're more of those high class IPAs. Matthew
Sours
Kennedy is
lately.
here.
Thank you, man.
Donated
Yo!
$5
Thank you, dude.
and said, "Hi Dylan, I can't wait for you to read off stuff for Zed."
Yeah, Sunday's gonna be a long stream because I'm gonna do that. We have
What's that?
Udon. It's his custom character and
Oh,
brands.
he's
Yeah,
got
it's
some
a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah, he sent it over to me. We talked about it on the call for
Nice.
Patreon. Yeah, so really excited to read it to you guys. You guys can give your thoughts.
I would love to.
Yeah, we were Sunday night. We'll do it.
I've been waiting for this actually.
Yeah, it'll
every
be-
time
it'll be
you
a
like
good
drop
time.
your like thoughts like of your like OC
yeah,
in the in the comments, I'm like, I need to read.
yeah,
it.
it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Bam donated another $2
Thank you, Bam.
and said, "Anyone excited for this new Digimon movie?"
I didn't know that was happening, but honestly, yeah.
I didn't either. Digimon was my jam back in the day, so
Absolutely.
I would kind of want to check that out. I kind of got to get back into it. Did
Yeah.
they have like a new show? Like, did they reboot it?
I know
I don't know.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
About
I
this.
I'm wondering.
I'm gonna have to look into
Let me know, Bam.
because I loved the first two arcs, so I'm open to it.
I'll
and
be-
that first movie, dude.
I'd be down for that a
Classic.
lot. Matthew Kennedy donated another $5 and said, "Hey Dylan, I'm going to DM you some stuff on Discord, and we could set up another call soon."
Cool. Yes. We
Awesome.
absolutely will. We absolutely will.
He's-
2 calls.
he's
2-time
pumped, man.
page. 2-time.
Yeah,
you
so
know what?
yeah.
He can inspire the ideas in you.
He's great. No,
That's what
he's
you need.
great. He's got better ideas than I do. I'll tell you that much.
All of
he's
us
a
combined.
genius.
Start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Become a just get famous, Matthew.
You know, like,
Seriously.
well, there's YouTube channels that like they read the comic books, like and stuff like
Yes,
that. You
they
should
read
just read your own
creepypastas.
stories.
Wow. Yes.
Mhm.
Like have someone animate or draw for you. I don't know if you
Oh,
do that,
that
and
could be
have
cool.
those play as like
That
you
would
talk
be
about your
awesome.
story as a narrator. That'd be really
That'd
good.
be very cool.
Jack Rhodes donated another $2.
Thank you,
Oh,
Jack.
And said, "See you guys on Sunday's podcast. Gotta sleep. See ya."
All right, see you,
course.
man. Thanks for coming by.
Sweet dreams.
See you Sunday.
And at the
Sunday,
moment,
Sunday.
That
that is
concludes
the
things?
end of our donation.
Beautiful. Well,
Wow.
that was fun. Then we talked about a lot. We talked about dreams, which I wanted to cover. We talked about relationships.
Ships, long distance, and otherwise.
Yeah, Brian with a massive donation. Thank you
Yeah,
again.
seriously.
DJ becoming a 13th channel member.
He also he was talking to Jellybean in the comments.
Yeah.
And Jellybean was talking that he or she had a dream where they felt like they were getting stabbed with a pencil, and that they woke up and they were holding the pencil and they had an actual mark. So DJ said, "Well, actually, mine was a dream; it was reality." And he tagged me and said it was Pete that stabbed me.
Yeah, high
So
school.
I can't confirm or deny that happening.
We'll
but,
end
you
on
know.
that story. So DJ, I'll never forget this. Standing outside of the French classroom waiting for the class to start, and Pete is walking down the hall, and DJ goes, "Hey Pete,
You can't even keep a serious face because you're about to lie.
You know he is.
So we had just come from an English lit class where Pete gave a speech on, I believe it was Aristotle. We had to give a presentation on
Aristotle
a
in
famous,
English?
on a famous like philosopher. And DJ said, "Pete, I really liked your speech. It really kind of opened my eyes, and I thought it was really well made." And Pete took out a pencil and stabbed DJ in the leg after DJ complimented him and said, "Look, I really thought you gave a great speech." And the pencil was stuck in DJ's leg, and he had to go to the nurse. I'll never forget because he didn't want to take it out because he didn't know, like, you know, it's almost like a bullet. Do you remove it? Do you leave it in there?
Right.
Like, what's better? So I remember DJ, I carried him on one arm, Weir carried him on the other, and he limped with that pencil stabbed leg that you had delivered to him. And we took him to the nurse's room, and they performed some sort of surgery on him to get the graphite out because you don't.
In the nurse's office in high school.
Yeah, well then the nurse, remember Nurse Lykoff, she sucked the graphite out of his hole.
Really?
Yeah.
With
and
what?
Out of his
with
hole?
her mouth.
Wow.
Out of his hole because of the pencil stab.
I would probably say wound or.
And I didn't get in trouble for this
Ms.
at all.
Liposuction. Well, they didn't know who did it.
Oh.
So DJ didn't rat you out. That was what
that's
was.
it. Well, thanks
And we
so
didn't
much,
want to
dude.
rat you out because you were on our bowling team. So me and Weir didn't want to
You
rat
need him
you
on
out.
the team.
Yeah, exactly.
carried it.
I remember in 6th grade, me and my friend Mikey, we would take the pencil side, and we would fool around and stab each other in the ribs with a pencil. And one day he stabbed it so hard it got stuck in between 2 of my ribs.
Oh my God.
And stayed there, and then I had to pull it out. So that was the end of that
That just
game.
made me.
Yeah.
On that note,
Hold on. You can't leave, though, because I did 2 again. 2 more donations. and JP Crow TC donated another $2 and said, just DM'd you something I drew during the stream.
Heck yeah.
Great, yeah.
So, boom.
Excited to look at that.
There you go. And then Bam donated another $5 and said
Bam.
it's the original group, but in their last year in high school, I believe.
Okay.
I would like to check out some Digimon.
Yeah,
then.
check it out.
Oh yeah, wait. That sounds awesome.
So
We'll check it
they're
out.
in high school by that point. Damn. So it's been years.
yeah,
I
they
gotta
were
check
like
that
kids,
out.
Yeah.
We'll check that out. Well, everyone, thank you for checking out the After Dark podcast episode 2. What?
So you're gonna let it go off air without actually like redeeming Pete's name a little? DJ just said, "Oh, good job," and Pete stabbed him. That's what happened.
Okay.
You're not gonna tell him what actually, like, what DJ.
I thought that's what actually happened. That's what DJ told me what actually happened. That he said something like nice to you and then you stabbed him in the leg.
It's okay, Nick D.
Well, okay. What
fine.
actually happened? You tell your side. I'm a fair person.
To
on
be
here.
honest, I don't even remember.
Right.
DJ said something that he probably shouldn't have said, and so that's what ended up happening.
Did he call you Petey Weedy?
I don't remember. We were in we were in math class in 10th grade, and he sat behind me, and I think he would always mess with me all the time. Like he would hit me with a book, or he would always fool around. And I was like, DJ, I'm gonna stab you if you keep doing this. And he did that day after day, and then I think that's one
And
day.
I think
happened.
Petey Weedy was the.
Well, I'll never forget how you got him
Straw.
to stop. Because DJ one time said that he was messing around with Pete, just joking around, and then Pete said, "Hey, DJ," and he lifted up his shirt and he had a knife in his pocket, and DJ said, "Yeah, I'm never gonna do it again."
on that note.
And so on
Nope,
that note, thank you
still-
all so much.
Still can't leave because we have a new member.
Oh,
Frobel Vergara just became a
Frobel,
member.
number 14. That's freaking amazing, dude. We're almost
Welcome.
at 15.
So
That was the end of August.
and
goal.
also David Lewis asked you, how do you become a member?
You hit the join button. If you go to my channel, and there should be a join button on the video description. Not in the in the video description. There's also a join button. But also, I think when you watch my video or go to my channel, any button that says join, that's how you become a member. I have 3 tiers. One is for $3 a month, one is for $5 a month, and one is for $10 a month, and you get different perks. So if anyone's interested, great way to help. You get some perks.
Yeah.
You can join the Discord.
I also wanted to say.
No, keep going.
Oh, hello to David Lewis.
David Lewis,
I
dude.
just today saw the DM you sent me a few days ago. I apologize for not answering, but I will send you an answer back promptly. I love you.
Dill, you're just killing it. They literally never let you leave. Because congratulations, you have a 15th member.
15.
Wow, we hit
Thank
it.
you guys. You
It
guys
is
are amazing.
Milestone.
It is Bam.
Bam.
has just become a
Dude.
member.
Frobo, Bam, DJ, thank you guys so much. Damn, that's fucking awesome, man.
3 new members.
That's great.
right there.
Yeah, thank
So
you guys so much.
Congratulations.
That was
Wait.
my goal. That means I get another emote slot.
Wow.
So now I have 2 emote slots. So the Pete emote is coming, and then I got to figure out what to do with the next one. I think the next one gets unlocked at 20, so that'll be the end of September goal.
you
Because
have to figure
15
it
was
out.
the end of August goal.
Right.
So
That's great.
yeah, that's
And we're only-
amazing.
Only August 8th.
Yeah, you
So-
guys are freaking incredible, man.
David Lewis said, so basically it's a second Patreon.
Basically,
Essentially.
it's for people that don't. I know there are people that have told me that they don't like to go to external sites. Is that external
Yeah,
sourced
it's
sites?
yeah.
So people don't like to do Patreon for that reason. They like to keep it within YouTube, and so it's similar. The only real differences between YouTube and Patreon is the YouTube members get the emotes and the chat emotes. So if you're more active in the live stream chats and you want access to those emotes and the badge next to your name, if you comment on my videos a lot, it's probably more beneficial to do YouTube membership. You still get access to the live streams. The big difference with Patreon is for the higher numbers, you get actual physical mail sent to your house. That's the
Right.
big perk there. And then for 40 and, the big ones, you get an hour phone call. You get to suggest a video idea. So there's different perks. So it's slightly different, but there are a lot of people that just like to keep it within YouTube. They don't like
Right,
to
yeah.
go to external sites. So
That's fair.
basically it is a second way. Yeah.
A couple things. Loop said, is there any way to pay and become a join member without a credit card?
PayPal maybe? That is a great question.
PayPal. Because you can assign
Maybe.
a
I don't know,
bank
though.
account. Oh, I don't know if you can use PayPal. And
Yeah,
YouTube.
I don't know.
Maybe.
So, Loop, I'll get back to you on
it's
that.
possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
If PayPal is an option, of course you can assign a bank account to PayPal rather than a credit card.
Yeah, Jarek said you can use PayPal.
Okay, thank you,
then-
Jarek. Jarek's
yeah,
tech savvy.
Yeah,
man.
dude, he's the best.
Jarek's the guy. Jarek's the guy that we need to just have right here.
Yeah,
just
working
like,
right there,
looking up
working
the data.
computer.
You're
dude.
right. You're right.
He should be your real first employee. That's what he really should be.
Paid.
I
If he
can't-
ever wanted to
I
do
can't.
that.
I can't afford that. I wish I could.
One day.
If I could, yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah.
But
So 2 more things. I'm sorry. They
no,
love
it's
us.
fine. It's
They
fine.
love
I
you.
know you guys are amazing. I love you back.
Matthew Kennedy donated another $10.
Thank
and
you,
said if
Matthew.
you guys remember about the thing with Max, the half demon, half angel,
Yes, of
and the
course.
Templar's thing of Lucifer,
Yeah.
as a prideful, arrogant angel who's just a jerk. So once
Oh, we very much
again,
remember.
I still think that's I was watching literally the show Lucifer today. So
no,
anything
Matthew,
about that,
If you write up anything about that, send it over to me. We'll read it.
We'll
man.
read it. I would love
That's
to
awesome.
like live react to like a full piece. Or,
Yeah.
like, at least a section. Like,
Absolutely, dude. Your writing is great, man. Thank you so much for that hefty donation.
Shadow Room wrote Jarek is Kusanagi.
Jared Kusanagi.
And you have a 16th member.
Oh my God.
Div
Oh.
Z is now your 16th
Oh, Div
member.
Z.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great dude. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Div.
Wow, you are already shattered.
Jesus
August
Christ. Yeah. So
goal.
thank you guys so much. Hopefully, everyone who does become a member, I just ask one thing that you spam the Caliber emote. That's all I
All
want
the
to
time,
say.
yeah.
But no, seriously, thank you guys so much. You guys are absolutely incredible. On
That's
that
so
note,
sick. I think this is it.
that's
right?
After Dark, podcast number 2. We're going to try to do this every single week. Hopefully, Russo will be on next
Yes.
week. That would be
That would
amazing.
be awesome.
Our
The boy-
well-traveled
Joe.
friend.
Yes, yes. I'd love to hear differences between U.S. and Australia.
Still coming down from a bender in Las Vegas.
Yeah, yeah, it would be amazing. He's a great guy. So,
Bam just donated another $2 and said, "Good boy, I miss him."
goodbye. Yeah. Well, we're actually
We'll see.
right when we go offline, we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
Vrain.
we're
So we'll
gonna
have a video
address
on
the
that
spoilers.
tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed our After Dark podcast episode 2. For another live stream, be sure to check out Sunday night where we will be doing Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Ute will be joining us, so that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, Nick T. Pete, thank you guys so much for
Thank you
helping
for
me out
having
and
us.
coming
Thank you
on.
for having us.
No problem. You're part of the team. Thank you to everyone who donated, watched, became a member. You guys mean the absolute world to me, and I will continue to hopefully make enjoyable content for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching.
Well, real quick, shout out to Dylan for wearing a
Mom
OG
Fight.
Mom Fight shirt.
Fight. Check him out. It's
Yeah.
Nick T's band. He
Also,
screams.
if you like that
He's a
design,
screamer.
or any want any merch from Mom Fight, it's up on our Bandcamp. You can order it. We'll send it out to you.
momfight.bandcamp.
Just close.
Boom.
Yeah. Just
Bandcamp.com
Google.
Fight.
Just Google.
Just
Mom
Google
Fight.
it.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you all so
Love
much
you.
for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.
See you
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Thank you.
Later.